You behave.
Tonight, we bring you this week's flight sim news with thanks to SayIntentions. We check out the latest Cowan Sim, the S-76C Sikorsky, an update from the A2A Aerostar version 0.98, a Sopwith Camel, and over to Flight Sim 2020 for Sim Update 16. Hello, everybody, happy Wednesday. Welcome to the middle of the week, the halftime show, the midweek shuffle. Welcome to the news. Yes, loads of news, things happening across the beloved flight simulators, and we have some aircraft to show off tonight, including Cowan Sim Sikorsky, the S-76, a Flight Sim 2020 machine. We're also going to be checking out a brand new Sopwith Camel. Tell you how. Back to the old days of flying, and of course we have the Sim Update 16 for Flight Sim 2020. What the devil? And of course, A2A have been flat out busy on their AccuSim Aerostar, and version 0.98 is now available for you to download, and we're going to check out what that brings to the thing, you know. But anyway, me camera's all changed. I did something stupid earlier. You know me, right? But anyway, what I meant to do, I was trying to move a wire, and whatever the hand, eye, face, Jesus, there's things happening. Whatever sort of coordination, instead of reaching forward, I punched it. And then the camera just went, huh? But anyway, we'll figure it out together, lads. Let's try not to worry about any sort of technical difficulties. This computer turned off twice as well. Never a dull moment. Jesus, there's buttons happening all over the shop, lads. Will you behave yourselves on a Wednesday? But yes, it's going to be busy. Looking forward to that's actually slightly better than what was, you know. Right. I'm just saying, things are going terribly bad. I have my hat here beside me, though. I can wear that. What if I just, I wonder if I just sellotape that to the back of my head? Then, hang on a second. Wait now, will this work without, who's in charge? You haven't a clue what you're doing. No, that doesn't work at all. And there's a good chance I've broken my headphones. Right, let's not mess. Let's leave things as they are, shall we? You're most welcome in, and I hope you're having a great day, or an evening, or it could be tomorrow at this stage. We're halfway through the week. Friday is on by yonder brow of the hill. We're now we can see the summit, right? And when we get up there, we're going to see the weekend. Excellent news. And for a lot of people this week, it is a short week, as it was a bank holiday Monday. You see, the Irish invented the bank holidays. I can't substantiate these claims now, but we'll give it our best shot, right? Whoa, lads, there's things pressing buttons all over the shop. Will you calm it down now? Your man is going to be hoarse. Oh, we got a new button as well. Good morning. You can barely hear them. Ah, Jesus. Hang on. Let the music play out and then I'll play it again, right? Good morning. Right? Brilliant. But anyway, we'll ramble in. Blue-Eyed Thomas here. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. CP65 is in the chat. Vacuum. Hello. Fierce Wolf looking fierce and wolfy. He's here for 48 months. Subscribed at a tier 1. 48 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, my guy. What a legend. Spitfire RAF 100. Top of the evening to you. SK Sun is here. Welcome in. Gar Gaming. Hello from Galway. How are things in Galway, Gar?
Good morning.
Ah, brilliant!
Good morning.
I can do that all day.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
That's what I did. That's my contribution. That's my contribution to today. That's all there is, lads. Nothing else. Right? I have to cut my hair as well. Look at the head of it. But anyway, we're over here. Look, Gar Gaming, you're very welcome in. Hello there. Welcome in, everybody. Anima's here. Eamon 1973. Good day to Eamon. Viper Strike is in the house. Muse fan bursts in the door with a sore head from Liverpool. Welcome back, Muse. Good to see you, buddy. 98 Vulcan is here. Welcome in. What better way to start a possible 4-day rainy streak here in Gosford, Australia? Rain in Australia. Malky is here. Welcome aboard. Soaring AJ. AJH man, hope you're well. Who's this? McFly, good to see you. McFly. Where is this now? 10 in a row with 98 Vulcan. Thank you very much indeed. Sun Jammer is here. Will Murph get eaten up by a T-Rex tonight? We'll look at it, but what? Who? Right. Brilliant. We all need to do what was your man's name? We'll get to it, but you know your man anyway. You know that fella. Names escape me. The actor's name. Think Jurassic Park. He was also in The Fly, wasn't he? Jay, that's terrible bad, isn't it? I don't know his name in Jurassic Park. He wore a leather jacket. Someone will know. Jeff Goldblum. I always knew you'd know. I always knew it. Well done, lads. Faith restored in the chat of the TTM community. You are all geniuses. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Jeff Goldblum, that's the one. Yeah. Well done, lads. Brilliant. Right. Yeah, we should all do his accents. Do you know what I mean? Some of my alerts aren't working now because you've shagged them. Well done, lads. Wait, why didn't that work? I wonder. Wait now. Logs. Jesus. Alerts. Event list. Look. Can I not do that? So it'll do the lights, right? It'll do the lights, but it doesn't do the gadget. How do we do the gadget? Hang on, lads. We're going to use some science. Stream labs, is it?
They've done studies, you know.
You're hanging. Whoa.
60% of the time, it works.
Every time. Wait, this is asking me to do all sorts of logging in. Log in with Twitch there, Murphy. Yeah. Hang on, wait till we get to the end of this. I don't know what's going to happen here now. Right, Jesus. Right, what am I looking for? Recent events. Yes. It's loading. You don't have any recent event. Well, why not? Is there not other buttons over here, no? There should be. 1 day ago. Well, that's not very friggin' good, is it? 4 minutes. We're getting somewhere. Jeez, that's very bad, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know why they're not happening. Some of them are working, some aren't. Right? But sure, listen. Enough logs to build a cabin. I don't know. Alerts were working and then they weren't working. Play alerts. Oh, wait, were they paused? Maybe they were paused. Right, anyway. Jeff was Dr. Ian Malcolm. Yes, Dr. Malcolm. Yes, brilliant. That was the one. Right, that screen is terribly large on my face. But anyway, moving on. Let us see what happens. Who else come in the door here now? Crafty Tigers, welcome in. APO Inspector with 10 in a row. Night Zep, very good evening. Commander Balosh is here. I found Guinness the first time in my local grocery store in Germany. A new beer after work. Commander Balosh has discovered Guinness. Brilliant. Shunty McShunface, good evening. Super Typhon. Wait till you hear this. So I had a dentist appointment and they said I have 3 teeth that need removing, 2 broken molars and 1 that would end up broken and possibly 3 other teeth to be removed. Jeez, I don't like the dentist. You know, they're terrifyingly terrifying. You know what I mean? What can you do, lads? What can you do? Super Typhon, my thoughts are with you, you poor old devil. Mac Vision, good to see you. Stick Figures here. Lead Ballooner, welcome aboard. PH Roy, good afternoon. Heisenberg, good afternoon. Hope you're well. Tarnish is in the house. Let me see. Carnival, welcome aboard. Liptorius is here. Resonate. Doc Nader, greetings. Tima is here. Rookie Pilot, Creo. You're all very welcome in. Shuffle Shoes, shuffles in. AJH John, hope you're well. Mech Manser, yes. PS Miranda, hello there. Hope you're well, buddy. Hey, Crotty, good to see you. Resonate is here. Phantom Diablo. Cheers, buddy. Piku is here. See, my lights are flashing, but I'm not getting any alerts. It's shagged. Anyway, a whole load of subscriptions just come in, look. Memphis Ton, 36 months with Prime. Thank you very, very much indeed, my guy. Mac Vision, 12 months at a tier 1. What a legend. Thank you very, very much, my guy. And Bio Games, let me see, 4 months with Prime. You absolute gentleman and a scholar. Thank you very much indeed. Lunar Jets is here. Nick, welcome in. Captain Gaiman, top of the morning. AZ Blue Line is here for 43 months. Thank you very much indeed, man. Sun Jammer, 34 months. What a ledge. So, still here after nearly 3 years. Right, if Rob Murphs plays, I'd be out on probation. Wait, if Rob Murphs plays, I'd be out... Wait, hang on. You would actually... You'd be out on probation for good behaviour, son chap. Well, would you? You and good behaviour? I don't think so. But anyway, thank you very much indeed. Gremlins causing trouble again. You better believe it. I'll be here lurking, says Captain Gaiman, doing some DCS stuff. Nice. Who else come in the door now? Phantom Diablo. Murphy with captions on adds a whole new depth to the madness. You better believe it. Adam Controls is here. In a couple of years' time, he'll be looking back at that picture. Jesus. Saying, remember how much hair I had? What are you talking about? A couple of years, a couple of weeks. Good to see you, Adam. Welcome in, buddy. Boston Elf, welcome. Wicked Lumberjacks is here for 8 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, my guy. Good to see you, buddy. Lunar Jets is here. Zitz, welcome in. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the man, myth, and legend himself, Jeppesen 2001, has graced us with his presence. What news of the realm? He says, good evening, Murph and Fireflies. It's hump day, baby. Right. Business time. Good to see you, Jeppesen. Hope you're well, man. Wills 1985, top of the evening. James 747, James. Good to see you. The name's James. 747, James. Welcome in. Where's this? I'm tired already. What happened, CP? Good morning. Brilliant. Yeah. Good morning. It's Crabtree.
Good morning.
Brilliant. Greetings from that place that you can never pronounce, says Boston Elf. Greetings from Sund. No, Sund. Wait, who? How do you pronounce that? Mountain Man is here. How are you here when you were flying as my co-pilot to Stockholm and handling my radios? Modern technology. Zybok Doc is here, calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. You're looking well. Distinger is here. Good to see you. 61 Tree Studios. A very good evening, Robbie. Hope you're well, man. Cy Murray, welcome. Who else come in the door now? Girl Pilot. How do you turn on the engines and turn them off? Could you be more specific? Jesus. Right. Jeff was Dr. Ian Malcolm. Yes. Photos by Kev is here. Evening, Smurfy. Thoughts are with the family. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, we have to do a thing tomorrow. You know, I have to dress very well spoken. You know, it's one of those things. So I have to do that tomorrow. And, anyway, Martel, good to see you. Lafreitas is here. Lieutenant Bob, welcome aboard. Greg is in the house, welcome aboard. Who else come in the door here now? Patrick Doyle is here, good evening. I watched the Antonov take off out of Dublin this evening. Awesome plane. What was that? the Antonov 125? Is that the proper number of it? Forget the dentist, says Annam. Just use some good string, tie it to your tooth one end, tie the other to a door handle, and slam the door shut. Adam, are you some sort of a butcher? Jesus. Painful. Anyway, let's see what happens here. Neo, good to see you. Hope all is well. Where is this now? Must be time for a beer. We're getting close to it. It's an AN124. Ah, thank you, Malgi. An AN124. See, I knew you'd know it. I know you'd know it. Anyway, that's not important. Black Sheep Jean is here. Good to see you, Jean. Hope all is well. Jody Doc is in the house. Welcome in, Jody. Uniform Goose. Good day, Goose. Mrs. TPHI, welcome aboard. Who else came in the door? Billy Bogdan. Good to see you, Billy. Kubi is here. Jean became a member of the channel as co-pilot. Thank you very much indeed. The man is like totally stalking us. Thrust Set Simulations, welcome aboard. Sourdough Man is here. Dave Cleary, a legend, Dave. Welcome in, Dave. Jungly, good to see you. Nutty Slack is here. Kodiak, hi from Canada. Hello from Tipperary. Cato, good evening. John Hawkes is in the house. Welcome aboard. Visualize, you're very welcome in, buddy. Hope all is well. Cambridge calling. Welcome in. Right, plenty of whiskey, indeed. I can't stop the end. Wait, I can stop the engines, but I can't power up. What aircraft, girl pilot? What aircraft? And we'll try and figure it out. Right, will we jump over? There's a bit to go through tonight. We'll come over here, look. That's completely the wrong button. Oh, do you know what it did? It's supposed to be that. Oh, Jesus, now it's not working. Balls. Is it that one? Don't all panic together. Wait, balls, I'm after shagging it. Why isn't that working now? We're not hearing the doo-doo. See, I told you I shagged it. Balls! Hang on. Oh, jeez. Unplug it. Replug it. Shouldn't we be hearing the doo-doo? Oh man, it's proper shagged. Right, don't panic now, lads. I don't want to, like, physically turn it off. Wait. What does that one do? Oh, balls, that turned off something important. Shh, quiet now. Let's all panic together. That's not working at all. Where does this even go, look? Now, look, you see, I can't find the wire. I can kind of feel the wire, if that works. It's completely shagged. Like...
Look at this big eaters.
No, but hang on! That's supposed to do a thing when I press the button. Hang on, we'll open Elgato. Agato, you're making a complete nutter out of me. Is it in control center? Let's try it, lads. No, it's not in the control center, balls. Be in Stream Deck. Right, get into the Stream Deck and let's look for the foot pedal. Stream Deck pedal. Yes. Sony Light. Why isn't that working? Does anyone know how to fix this? Does it even say it's connected? I tell you what I need to do. If I, like, kill that, right? Now, don't panic. Right, things turned off, and now we'll turn it back on again. Oh, we heard the doodaloo. Did you hear the doodaloo? I can't reboot this computer, lads. That's the streaming computer, right? Wait, hang on. Wait now. Wait for it. Is it?
Can I get a refund?
No! Shag off!
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Oh wait, that could have fixed it, Voicey. Do you ever see the time Murphy broke something? Why isn't that making a sound? I'm back to plugging it in, look. Jesus. What if we plug it in over here? We're not getting it. Boo-doo. Do you know the way you're supposed to get the... That's shagged! Right, that's it. There's lights turning off all over the parish. I'm doing my part. Oh, we need one of those. Would you like to know more? Right, there. I killed it from there. So strange. Things working. Right. Anyway, let's come over here where it's safer. Bloody hell. I'm very bright. But anyway, easy now. Right, easy now. We'll all calm down. I keep telling... There's gremlins.
You haven't a clue what you're doing.
Listen. It's fine. It's fine. It's all grand. Right, now, what are we going to talk about here? Oh yeah, look at this. So this here, friends, Black Sheep Gene upgraded his membership look. Thank you very, very much indeed, Gene, you legend. Evening all, Murph has broke something. There's a shock. Yes, right, do you know, it was going grand until suddenly it wasn't. But anyway, we'll get over that part. This here, friends, a new aircraft from Cowan Sim, the S-76C++. Right, and we'll be checking this one out here in a little while in Microsoft Flight Sim. It's strictly a 2020 aircraft, but should be working just fine inside 2024. All right, and Cowan Sim have made some really nice choppers over the years, this being their latest edition. And it's easy for something like this to kind of get lost because, well, sure, didn't we have a massive helicopter release already? You know what I mean? So when we talk about helicopter releases, this came out the same day as the Miltech Simulations MH60. So you'd be kind of saying to yourself, well, how important is having a Sikorsky S-76 in my life right about now? But anyway, we're going to be checking this one out in a little while to see how it behaves and all the jazz that goes with it, right? But before we get to that, friends, we're going to ramble in and have a look at the news. And bring this guy over. Holy tabs on a screen, Batman. So, well, let's see what the story's going to be. So, a big shout out to Vasco over at MSFSaddons.com and to Callum and the lads over at FS Elite. All our news for this evening, friends. It's in the 24 marketplace, so it should be fine. Well, we'll get to it now in a moment, right? But we'll start off with the weekly news, right? And we got official confirmation from InnyBills, or INI Bills, InnyBills I call them. The A340 airliner for 2024 is in development. Ooh. So, it didn't take long. After a revealing teaser a month ago, InnyBills have stepped in to officially confirm that they are already, or what many already suspected, the team is developing the Airbus A340 for Microsoft Flight Sim. Precisely, the A340-313, which has the CFM engines. Ooh. So, the announcement via the InnyBills forums, a detailed development update that reveals a lot more than just a name. InnyBills is building a feature-rich, multi-variant A340 exclusively for Flight Sim 2024. Exclusively. Development is already well underway. They're packaging 3 distinct variants into one single product. It's going to be a standard A340 passenger, a Praetor, right, configuration. Basically, it's a converted passenger aircraft into a freighter, so they call it a Praetor, and also then a luxurious ACJ, your BBJ and your A, right? I mean, letters are getting funny now. A luxurious version, you see. So, right, Stevie B is here. Lads, I can't talk. There's things happening. Who's in charge? It's the night at the towers. Things happening and we don't know. Jam, you absolute legend, pressed a button and gifted 5 tier 1 subs. I need to go to elocution lessons and, speech therapy to learn how to speak and pronounce the words in which I have chosen to share with you this evening. The man under pressure. But anyway, we continue on. Jam, thank you very, very much indeed. Lads, if you just got a tier 1 sub with thanks to Jam, do be sure to say thank you very much. All 3 variants will be included in a single purchase, and the aircraft will launch simultaneously on the PC and on Xbox, thanks to what the team calls a more established testing pipeline for Flight Sim 2024. No pricing, no release date. However, it should fall in line with InnyBill's previous airliners. If you've flown the Inny A300 or the newer A350, you should have a good idea of what to expect in terms of the features and the depth of systems and performance, right? The aircraft will have a full EFB integration, custom failure system and high-quality cabin interiors and a suite of real-world liveries at launch. Got a couple of pictures here which do look terribly, terribly nice. Now, the A340, it's a mad divil of a plane, because it's extremely long, 4 engines. I think it's it's one of the longest aircraft from it is outside of the A380, of course. It's just a stretched version with 2 extra engines. But anyway, InnyBills are going to focus on the aircraft's unique handling, its weight and balance, and of course, the famously sluggish performance Getting a fully loaded A340 off the ground might be a slow process, but at least you'll be accompanied by an excellent soundtrack because none other than Echo 19 is going to be doing the sounds. They haven't shown the cockpit just yet, so we're going to expect more details soon. The A340 may not be the most commercially successful Airbus, but it does hold a strange appeal for aviation enthusiasts. 4 engines, long-range capabilities, and also a stunning silhouette that is still loved by many. The Anybuilds team say much more is coming in the next couple of weeks, from deeper system previews to sound samples and also a full cockpit walkthrough. If their pace on the A350 is anything to go by, development seems to be moving quickly. But for now, we all know this. The Anybuilds A340 airliner is real, it's in active development, and it's headed exclusively to Flight Sim 2024. So let's see what happens here. There's no, I mean, look at Anybuilds over the last couple of weeks. I mean, they showed pictures of an A380. We were aware of an A340 in development, right? So, yeah, this should be interesting, lads. I think it'd be interesting. This kind of closes off the fleet when it comes to Airbus, really. You know, beautiful looking plane. The only A340 I'm aware of is the one from Tolis over an X-Plane. And that's highly sought after. Great machine, do you know? Moving on, CSS. Well, their 737-5 Classic, it's now available on Sim Market with early 2024 support. Commercial Simulation Systems have announced a major update for the 737 Classic add-on, version 1.4.6, bringing expanded accessibility through a new distribution channel and initial support for Flight Sim 2024. The update also introduces new visual customization options and further system refinements. The most impactful news is the immediate availability over on Sim Market of the aircraft, and the move makes the aircraft more accessible to a wider audience, especially those who prefer to purchase on well-known platforms. All 3 existing license tiers, monthly €5 or $5, annually $50, and a permanent $120 are now offered through the popular Flight Sim storefront. Sim Market customers will receive a license key for activation, integrating seamlessly with the existing system. The pricing model, which includes both subscription and permanent license options, has been a unique aspect of the strategy from CSS. While the $5 monthly option has been seen as a low-cost entry point trial, the $120 license has previously drawn criticism for its perceived high cost relative to the product's initial quality, right? And yeah, we've been back and forth on this one. I think, you know, the $5 a month option is good. See that $120 for a permanent license? I think that's causing more harm than good. They need to remove that, I think, because the idea is that $120. You know, CSS are saying, yeah, but you're going to get all the other variants of the aircraft. You know, the Dash 4, the Dash 6, or whatever, right? They're not ready yet, so they shouldn't be offering that. Why are you selling that product line when it doesn't exist yet? And folks who want to own the aircraft outright, they don't want to go, you know, a subscription model, or they're kind of locked in. Don't like that. But anyway, what can you do? With the latest update, CSS have also released an experimental version of the 737-5 with support for Flight Sim 24. The early release is available to all existing 2020 users, no additional cost, and a commitment CSS has maintained since the product's initial announcement. While the 2024 version shares the same system depth, it promises improved performance due to the enhanced multi-threading capabilities. CSS say the experimental build comes with known issues, specifically mentioning low sound volume and incompatibility with the simulator's walk-around mode. The developer advises users who prefer a bug-free experience continue using 2020 until a full stable release. Version 1.46 or 1.4.6 introduces several notable improvements, a new feature to the 757. Visually, simmers can now opt for the optional eyebrow windows and winglets, enhancing the aircraft's customization options. It's important to note that the winglets are currently purely cosmetic, with a proper flight model integration planned for a future update. Other visual enhancements include optional fluorescent main panel lighting, missing light emissions in the virtual cockpit, and a complete rewrite of the exterior lighting system. Fuselage texture mapping has also been adjusted to accommodate the new eyebrow windows. On the systems front, they have addressed a critical bug where entering gross wake on the approach page would break the CDU scratchpad. Engine parameters have been significantly tuned and low-speed behaviour has been improved to ensure a stall won't occur without the stick shaker already blaring. The update also includes various fixes for the FMC path calculations, electrical systems, cockpit lighting, along with general engine performance. They've reiterated its commitment to ongoing development, confirming that work continues on improving the aircraft's sound in collaboration with a well-known professional in the sim sound industry. There's really only two to think of. This addresses a point of past community feedback where initial sound design was described as bland. Furthermore, the developer teased upcoming progress of the other 7.3 variants, including the Dash 3 and the Dash 4, and their freighter variants, which are promised as free additions for permanent license holders. They need to get them released first, I think, and then go back and say, here's your 120 quid. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, good news anyway from CSS. They are hard at work making things happen. And, they've now kind of taken the leap to start on their 2024 rollout. Now, news here for general aviation. Coronado have teased the Beechcraft Baron B55 for Microsoft Flight Sim. Coronado have just revealed its next project for the sim. It's a Beech Baron 55, a classic light twin-engine aircraft widely recognised in general aviation circles, and developers shared a teaser image on social media stating simply, one of the most beloved twin coming soon. The image shows the B-55 in flight, sporting a vintage green and white paint scheme, the registration November 3127 Zulu, clearly marked as being Bravo 55, confirming the aircraft model. While Coronado didn't provide any details about the expected release date or supported platform, the aircraft is most certainly coming to Flight Sim 2024 first, in line with the studio's recent releases. Coronado typically launches its products through the in-sim marketplace, so we can expect this one to follow the same path. The Baron B-55, it's a piston twin aircraft from the Beech Bonanza family, known for solid performance, forgiving handling, and also widespread use in both personal and professional flying. It's often seen as a stepping stone for pilots transitioning into the multi-engine operation. The release follows a string of new and updated aircraft from Coronado in recent months, including the Centurion, the Bonanza, both of which feature support for modern GPS units, including that from PMS and TDI, and the interactive EFB, real experience sound and animation features. As with past launches, the B-55 will likely feature a mix of vintage and optional modern avionics, along with Coronado's signature visual style and simplified systems. More details should be available once the product listing goes live. I will say this. The last release from Coronado was actually pretty good. They're actually taking a step forward when it comes to kind of system features, or at least the depth of systems. They're not perfect, and they never will be. Coronado don't aim for that, but it's good to see them saying, okay, let's focus here now, because I think Coronado makes some of the most prettiest aircraft. End of story. They're just gorgeous. Their skills when it comes to modelling and texturing and all this, it's some of the best in the business. I think we can all agree on that. Their aircraft look stunning. Their sounds can be hit or miss. Sometimes they nail it, sometimes they don't. The systems and the flight model tend to be very samey. And this is where you kind of get, a lot of products from Coronado being released. Don't forget, Coronado have been developing aircraft all the way back since, well, I want to say Flight Sim 2004, but definitely FSX and X-Plane, and they've all but abandoned X-Plane. So, yeah, it's hard to know. It's great to see aircraft coming out, but it's, what do you prefer? I mean, we all like to say we prefer quality over quantity. Coronado, well, they go for quantity. They always had, Epic Fool, good evening. Hope you're well. Easy Rhino, welcome in. Can I ask you a question? What causes a joystick profile to change in the middle of when you're programming and a switch back to unidentified new joystick profile? Easy Rhino, not quite sure. Is it disconnecting? Is the profile moving? If you're on the PC, maybe bypass the built-in controller setup, because it's a pain in the ass. Have a look at Axis and O's or SPAD. It will eliminate any future problems you'll have configuring your controls to aircraft. Now, I still use the default sim, but it doesn't always get it right. And it's very important, currently in Sim Update 2, if you make any changes to your aircraft controls and you exit the sim, it doesn't always save. What you need to do is end the flight and then go off and then exit the sim. One of these weird things that just happens, you know what I mean? You're not paying 50 quid for Coronado stuff. You're paying 15 to 20. I think it's good value for what you get, says Zith. Yeah, great point, Zith. Hermit Something, good to see you. Hope all is well. Isn't Black Square working on one? Black Square are working on the Beach Baron. Yes, 3 variants of it. So, again, it's like, who's, Black Square have already proven themselves, I think, when it came to the steam gauge overhaul, right? Then we had, of course, the TBM, their own built aircraft, the Dukes and Starship. So I think there's a lot of there's a lot of excitement when Black Square say they're working on aircraft. But this is good news from Coronado. I still maintain, I think one of their best releases was their was it the 172 RG? Or maybe it was a 182 RG, the retractable gear. One of the best they've ever made. Phenomenal. Do you know? Black Square already have a Baron in 2020. Well, it's the steam gauge overhaul, so they've nailed the systems. The Baron is very, very good, and the flight model and all the jazz, but they're working on their own native one now, which I'm very excited for. Very, very excited for. But this, for the price point, as it quite rightfully said, 15 to 20 bucks, even 25. You're gonna have a good experience in this aircraft. It might need some tweaks, right? They always do. A small edit to your control inputs, the curves, right? But you'll still have a nice experience flying these aircraft. So that's great news, I think. Moving on, so the S-76C, Cowan Sim's most advanced helicopter yet, and it's on the marketplace now. So Cowan Sim followed through with the launch of its long-awaited S-76, now available exclusively on the marketplace. Now, prior to this, Cowan Sim used to sell off their website. They've now taken the decision to go down the Microsoft Flight Sim Marketplace route. Why? Right? I don't know why, because anything I've bought from Cowan Sim is straight to their website, and when they had an update, they'd patched it within a couple of days, right? But anyway, helicopter pilots, this is all good news. And the reason why, because we've seen a lot of choppers, and there's a lot more on the way. Billed as Cowan Sim's flagship helicopter, the S-76 arrives as one of the developer's most detailed and refined aircraft to date. It includes a custom-coded autopilot, fully interactive cockpit and a tablet interface, and support for multiple cabin layouts, including executive, medevac and offshore transport. Cowan Sim also promised optimized performance, smooth frame rates across PC and Xbox, with no external tools required for setup or configuration. It's available right now via the marketplace. Complete system modeling, custom-coded autopilot, tablet, 3 cabin layouts, great sounds. The release is happening exclusively in the marketplace, at least for now. It's compatible with both 2020 and 24. Cowan Sim have already confirmed a fully native 2024 version is planned for a later release. This is priced at $37.99 US. Nowhere on this did I see that it was 2020 or 2024, right? Just responded in a message back to me, and I'll get back to you. I know you're busy, don't want to bother you. Just get back to programming and see if we can fix the problem. Can I? Well, easy now. I had to delete Cloud, and because of this, I was getting too much junk up there. And when I don't know what's causing this, I had it before, and I'm still doing it. Fresh new copy, wipe the computer. Well, easy, Rhino. Here's one for you. If you're saving controls, and I'll say this to everyone: if you're saving controls, right? Where does this now live? Is it in here? Yeah, I think it's in here. All the control binding that you have in your sim, it could be in 2020 or it could be in 2024. You know the way it's all saved to like the cloud? It also saves them locally on your PC. So what I always do, once a week or once a month or wherever I'm doing something mad with the sim, I back up all my control inputs, just in case, the internet decides to work against us. And where you find that folder in your simulator, right? Go into wherever you have to go into your application data folders, and sometimes it's not always visible. You need to tell your PC, show me hidden folders, right? Sir Camsalot, thank you very much indeed. 26 months, man. Cheers, buddy. So you go into users, whatever your name is, app data, local, packages, Microsoft Limitless, because they never changed the name of the project, Limitless, and then in here you'll find a number of different folders. Now this is also the backdoor into your community folder and so on and so forth. If you go into your system app data, and this tends to be the same structure for most Microsoft Studio games, if there is such a thing anymore, but they're all the same, right? You have Helium, and you have WGS. Go into the WGS folder. Your first folder is a whole load of numbers. The second folder is just a letter. You're looking for the folder with a whole load of numbers. Copy that and paste it somewhere safe on your desktop, because inside of all of these folders, each and every one of these, when you open the file in a notebook, for example, this is showing you all your control inputs. For example, this one I've opened, this is for my heli name for my VPC throttle, right? And this is showing me all the axis inputs, the sensitivity sliders. It's also putting in what each and every single button does. So this is saving the file. This is the actual file your simulator is reading based on what your control inputs are done via your control input screen. So the worry is, if you lose these on the cloud, or the sim deletes them, whatever, you can actually keep these puppies safe. Now, the only headache you have, it doesn't name them. You have to go into the file, open the file. Don't open the container file. You open the number, right click, edit with Notepad. It'll open up in your Notepad. It'll tell you device name. Well, this is me Winwing Orion throttle. All right, okay, so that's how we figure. Do you know what I mean? And it means you can save all that locally. All right, so hopefully that helps folks as well if you're just trying to keep your control profiles to one side, just in case. Because it has happened. I've read the stories. I've heard people say, my controls are all wiped. Right? Anyway, getting back to this aircraft, the Cowan aircraft, I haven't seen, or I didn't see on the marketplace where it states, this is a 2020 aircraft. It shows up now in 24, but I didn't know when you buy this in 2024, there's nothing warning you to tell you this is not a native 2024 aircraft. I'm kind of upset over that because... Well, it's in the sim. I can't show you now, but I haven't seen it unless they've updated it. But if you want to go and buy the Cowan Sim S-76 and Flight Sim 2024, nowhere on that page did it state it was a 2020 only aircraft. And it's important. That's important because it handles slightly differently, But apart from that, what can you do? There's also an option to export the controls in 2024. Yeah, Big, you can do that as well. Yeah. Right. Anyway, so we're going to be checking out this chopper anyway this evening. Now, here's the thing. If you're flying on Xbox, Cowan Sim have acknowledged a few minor launch issues. Some of the buttons are shagged, the pedal inputs are inverted, and the checklists are currently missing. Uh-oh. But they'll, an update fixing all of these has already been submitted, barring any delays. And this is what I can't stand. Any delays in the marketplace. There should be zero delays. Flight Sim 2024 marketplace was designed to give developers control. They signed stuff off, so there shouldn't be delays. Yet there's delays, so I don't know. But anyway, Cowan Sim, we're going to be checking out this aircraft tonight. I'm excited for it. Cowan Sim, they've made some crackers over the years of aircraft. Really, really beautiful helicopters. And I think you'd be impressed with this one, So moving on, Captain Sim. Captain Sim, well, they've released another historic aircraft. This time it's the Sopwith Camel. And they've done already a handful of these aircraft, some of the more vintage ones, right? The last one they did was the Spad. And, the S13. And it was actually quite nice. I was really impressed by it. So they released a digital rendition of the historic Sopwith Camel. Now, these were built back in 1916, 1917. They were great pilot trainers. They were also combat aircraft back in World War I, air-to-air capabilities and more. It's an aircraft that has... Duxford have one, I think, that's flying. I thought we saw one over there, right? When we look at Captain Sim, and they do get a lot of crap thrown at them, right? However, I think when it comes to these sort of side projects that they're doing, or maybe these are their main projects that they're doing, I don't quite know. But the likes of the vintage aircraft, I thought they were quite good. The likes of the C-130, the newer ones, I thought they were quite good, The airliners, well, the airliners, they're pretend airliners, but that's the market they're going after. At least they're not putting up, 767 professional, like that other shower of Muppets are doing. So let's see what happens, right? It's now available through Captain Sim's website, and it's coming soon to the marketplace. And the add-on recreates the Camel, high-fidelity 3D model, 8K textures, and also a period authentic cockpit with fully functional gauges and controls. It is designed for the 2020 platform. Built to replicate the F1 Camel's unique structure and small cockpit, Captain Sim's model offers a faithful recreation of the biplane's wood and wire aesthetic. The development team claims to have used extensive visual references, aiming to deliver one of the most detailed models to date. If there's one thing Captain Sim has done well in recent releases, it's certainly been the visuals, which we can all agree, the visuals are really good. For the new place, control cables, propeller mechanisms and other moving parts are animated, and the aircraft includes custom camera views and icing and rain effects native within the sim. While the Camel doesn't feature modern avionics or glass panels, it is a 1917 aircraft, the cockpit is densely packed with early 20th century instrumentation, including mechanical RPM gauges, a compass, and also an analog airspeed indicator. The wicker pilot seat, leather padding, and exposed control linkages are also featured in the rendition. Royal Air Force D1 or D1851, based on a still airworthy example. I thought I saw one of those flying. Do you know? But you can see from some of the pictures here, we're going to be looking at this aircraft as well. And we'll do this over in flights in 2020. I fired it up in 24. It doesn't work. It works, but it jumps around a lot on the ground. It's not a 2024 aircraft. You know what I mean? But this is an interesting one. Can anyone name the type of engine on this? It was quite unique. Quite unique. So, radial, piston, or something else. Rotary. Nick has it there. It's a rotary engine. The entirety of the cylinders, the whole shebang turns. It's mad and it's beautiful. A rotary engine. It's stunning, right? So we're going to check this one out over in Flights from 2020 there in a while. Anyway, the point about this, it's available from CaptainSim.com, but it's priced at just $12.99. It's under a tenner. Under $10 for a piece of history. And you might say, I've no interest flying that. This in friggin' VR, beautiful experience. Beautiful experience. Do you know what I mean? Like, when would you ever get the chance to fly a 1917 aircraft? Think about it, right? So great stuff there. We'll be checking it out in a little while. Phoenix have been busy. They've released already patch 1 for the A320 family following the BFU. And this one here, it addresses some of the stability issues, sound problems, and also memory optimization, is specifically for 2024 users, right? While the BFU introduced a completely reworked A320 CEO experience with native 2024 support, a new A319 Sharklet variant, advanced walk-around functionality, and also major updates to the flight dynamics, patch 1 is more focused on polish and immediate problem solving. Phoenix highlighted the strong community response, revealing some interesting stats. There was over 1 million livery downloads, nearly half a petabyte of data. Half a petabyte. When Flights in 2020 released, they had 2 petabytes of data. Half a petabyte for one aircraft. Nuts. There was also no measured downtime. No measured downtime when download requests came in. That's impressive. Anyway, key fixes. It's described as stability and performance. Multiple crash freeze scenarios resolved. VRAM usage reduced up to 1.5 gigs. Better texture resolution, improved rendering, sound improvements have been fixed missing or incorrect CFM sound sets, adjustments to the IAE engines, and also fixes for the missing flap sounds in the A320. Avionics and systems, they've added in CPDLC support for Beyond ATC, fixed MacDo scratchpad behavior, improvements to differential braking and direct law behavior after takeoff, refinements to their fuel logic. And then when it comes to the 2024 specific visuals, cabin visibility problems in avatar mode have been resolved, the runway turn-off light flickering has been fixed, missing fuel or refuel panel and ACP tooltips have been restored, and improved the collision zones around the stairs and the rear doors. Pilots are now correctly visible from the interior and exterior, and the custom cabin layouts for the 319 liveries are now working again. The patch was intentionally scoped for a quick turnaround. Additional fixes and enhancements are expected in future updates, including further refinements to the new sound engine and any remaining quirks reported by users. The team also reminds users experiencing very low frame rates, particularly those seeing major differences when toggling the display sync modes, reach out to support provided they're not using beta versions of the sim. Great news there from Phoenix. They've absolutely hit a home run, I think, with this. Moving on, immersive audio. The Mad Dog X sound pack is coming soon to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Immersive audio, Mad Dog X Sound Immersion, NG Sound Pack. New sound pack will include over 235 authentic sounds from the MD-80 series that will be fully compatible with Leonardo's Fly the Mad Dog. It also works for their MD-82, 83 and the 88. Some of the sounds included, such as the Pratt & Whitney JT8D engines, unique cockpit ambience and system packs, battery winds, rack fans, gyros, circuit breakers, mud flap, stabilizer motion. Right, all of these are going to be fully updated, and it's a new one. We don't have a release date or price just of yet. Orbex seem to be behind this one. We do have some sounds here. Let's give it a listen. So it's all up and coming. It sounds quite impressive. Now you might be saying, Jays, it's very quiet. Well, the MD-80 was quiet. The engines were way, way back, so you wouldn't get that roar as you currently do with, you know, engines under the wing. This looks very good. I mean, I use the sound pack for the MD-80 that I fly. It's from FT Sim. It's quite good, right? This sounds very good, so I'm looking forward to this. So yeah, so there's a new sound pack on the way. This aircraft, I mean, look, it doesn't get a lot of use, right? And it's an incredible airplane. It's beautiful. It looks great, sounds great, flies great. It's just something that I don't tend to fly a lot because it scares the crap out of me. Do you know what I mean? So, right, we'll see how this one goes. But good news anyway, an immersive audio Mad Dog X sound pack is coming soon. No business class, right? If anyone fancies a very scenic route, flies daily to the Isle of Sicily. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I've crashed that plane on takeoff. Anyway, over to some sceneries now. Impulse Simulations tease Port Lincoln Airport. And this is down in Australia, I think. Is it? Port Lincoln Airport, bringing one of South Australia's most important regional airports to life with an exceptional level of detail and accuracy. Located in the stunning Eyre Peninsula, Port Lincoln Airport, key hub for regional air travel and a gateway to South Australia's beautiful coastline. This highly detailed scenery has been handcrafted to deliver an authentic experience for both PC and Xbox users, optimised for smooth performance, whilst maintaining an unparalleled level of realism. I've got to say, it looks absolutely gorgeous. And it's great to see more and more, like we're getting a lot of focus in Australia. Some really nice sceneries are starting to come alive. And this one looks really nice. We got interior here. We got like a lot of interior. Go back one. That contrail. Practically geek. Look at that. The man is famous. So nice touch. This is looking nice. Tuna City Aviation. Great name for a flight. Port Lincoln look. So it is looking nice. No doubt that we have a trailer here then as well, or we will have a trailer. It's designed as the perfect companion to Impulse Simulations Adelaide Airport, allowing simmers to enjoy realistic short-haul flights between both airports. Port Lincoln for Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 and 24 is scheduled for release on the 8th of August. That's Friday, at around 8 o'clock in the morning GMT, direct from the Impulse Simulations website, available later on then through AnyBuild, SimMarket, FlightSim.to, Contrail, and of course the Microsoft Flight Sim Marketplace. Good stuff. No price that I can see, but a very nice looking airport. Look at the night lighting there. Jesus, that's lovely, isn't it? Gorgeous. There was a pretty decent freeware YPLC released. Oh, was there, Nick? That looks quite nice. El Bapino is here. Good to see you. Muse says, I like it, but it's just too complicated. There's too much to be thinking about, and it takes the chill factor away from flight simming. Yeah, that's only because you don't spend enough time with it. You know what I mean? Energizer's here. Good to see you, buddy. So yeah, the little teaser there for Practically Geek. Hopefully we'll get to see that airport in a trailer coming soon. Moving on, PacSim have released their rendition of Rally Durham for Microsoft Flight Simulator. After months of previews, the Pacific Island Sim, or PacSim, they finally released Rally Durham Airport for Microsoft Flight Sim. Kilo Romeo Delta Uniform, one of the fastest growing airports in the United States, servicing a record-breaking 15.5 million passengers in 2024. The airport serves as a focus city for Delta Airlines. It's also an operating base for Avelo Airlines and also Endeavour Air. In recent years, the airport has added various international airlines, including Aeromexico, Air France, Copa, Lufthansa, and more. To accommodate future growth, the Airport Authority is advancing construction on a new 05 left, 23 right runway, and they are expanding Terminal 1. PacSim's Rally Durham scenery has been highly anticipated for Microsoft Flight Sim, and according to the developer, the scenery includes the most up-to-date airport layout, 3 types of customer animated jetways, custom vegetation, autogen and PBR textures, 3 types of custom animated, I imagine it means. Frequent flyers into RDU Airport can take advantage of all the model terminal interiors and also the accurately placed FBOs. There's also some general aviation buildings on site as well. You can purchase this through PacSim's website, $21.99, and they're also running a 40% sale on all their other sceneries. It looks great. I gotta say, it looks fantastic. I thought I saw Chewie fly into here the other day. I was very impressed with it. Yeah, Rally Durham. This is a busy airport. So yeah. Visualize says, Murph, are the rumours true the Flow isn't coming to 2024? They want to bring it to 2024. It just won't be coming in soon. You know what I mean? They're hoping to get it in, but there's no news of it just yet. Do you know? But yeah. Right now, what? Do. Ah, very good. Heisenberg, you've won the Name the Upcoming Firefly MH60 giveaway, by the way. Heisenberg. So what that means, Cyrus T is being busy working on creating a new livery, right? So see here, that's going to be a brand new livery coming to the MH60. And you get to name that aircraft. Heisenberg, well done, buddy. So you get to put a name to that. If you want to drop me or Cyrus T a little DM and just say, right, this is the name of it, right? And you know, see how you get on with that. Should be fun, right? Should be fun. So well done to Heisenberg. That was a giveaway we were doing. Our next upcoming livery, which is coming out for the MH60. Well, we put out a giveaway so one of you guys can name the aircraft. And we'd like to do this more and more. I think it's awesome. So when there's a new livery on the way, and we might even look at some of the older liveries, the retrospective liveries already released. I just need to send a bottle of whiskey to Cornwolf. Maybe we can get some giveaways done there as well for you guys to name the fleet. I think it's a nice touch. But anyway, Raleigh Durham, it looks fantastic, lads. Look at the detail here. Stunning aircraft. And like a lot of the time, photos don't do scenery justice. I think here they really work well. It looks fantastic. You know what I mean? Hayden wants a refund.
You've been drinking. I have, Ted. I've been drinking like a mad eater.
Anyway, it does look really accurate. It looks beautiful. Now, Aero Designs released Manchester Boston for Microsoft Flight Sim. So Manchester Boston, Kilo Mike Hotel Tango. We've flown here doing our wings course. Manchester Boston Regional Airport, located in Manchester, New Hampshire in the United States. It's also the busiest airport in the state. The airport's served by American Airlines, American Eagle, Velo Airlines, Breeze, JetBlue, Southwest, United Express, Amazon Air.
Can I get a refund?
No, shag off. All the refunds, all the aircraft operators seem to be operating out of Manchester. And the rendition features highly detailed 3D models of the terminal and its interiors, custom modelled animated jetways, high-res ground texturing, custom 3D mesh, HDR, GSX profiles, you name it, it's all there. You can pick this up now for £14 over on Contrail, and it works in both Flight Sim 2020 and 2024. It's great to see more scenery for this neck of the woods, because the wings course really got me enjoying flying up that neck of the woods, up, in around the whole Boston region. It's stunning, Ollie, good to see you. Only since having a Sim Update 18 or Sim Update 16 click spots. I don't know. We'll check it out though. But yeah, so looking good here for Boston, Manchester, or Manchester, Boston, right? Now, speaking of Inibills, they've released Larnaca. We flew here, or we checked it out the other day. The airport is now released as Larnaca, Lima Charlie, Lima Kilo, the busiest airport on the island, out to Cyprus, and airlines such as Jet2, Easy, TUI, Cyprus, and I think Ryanair go out there the odd time as well. And they've included a interior for the terminal as well. Pretty decent. We took it for an out spin there last week. The scenery has now released, and it's £9.99 excluding tax, and you can pick it up over on the Inibills website. So Larnaca is now available. Great location if you want to do some nice holiday flying. So nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. You can fly at a discounted rate. 4 people, that's the price of 2, and so on. Right, mad. One Fly Air, good to see you. So great stuff there from Inibills, lashing out the sceneries. Staying with Inibills, they have announced Manchester Airport. Inibills just released Larnaca, but now they're turning back to the UK with Manchester as a premium release. The Forum Post has said accuracy is the top priority, that they're seeking support from the community to help them with this. They're looking for anyone who may be based at or near the airport in Manchester to reach out so they can provide the most accurate and detailed rendition of the airport as possible. You can find the email on the Forum Post if you're interested in supporting them. Hangar Studios, welcome aboard, man. Good to see you. Developers such as Pyrig and RW Profiles taking things to new levels. Inibills wants to meet the raised bar. Work in the airport will proceed now at full speed, with Larnaca now out in the wild, and as usual, any updates will let you know. Exciting though to hear that Manchester is getting a fully fledged rendition from Inibills. I wonder, kind of convince them maybe to do like Dublin or something. I'll ask them nicely. It'd be nice to have 2 options for Dublin, But anyway, great news there from Inibills. Now, Mamu Design Marinas. Well, they've updated it with cranes and also buoys, right? Developer Mamu Design, one of the developers making the sim a touch more realistic and immersive through a variety of add-ons. One of these add-ons is Marinas, which started out as a freeware add-on, has since grown into a more comprehensive payware product. It adds piers and docked boats, as well as other boat models and static boats to your sim. Mama Design is able to achieve this using algorithms that analyze OpenStreetMap data and generate output from the sim across the globe. The latest update, version 0.9.1, adds a range of new features. In Flight Sim 24, the ability to walk on piers with your virtual avatar has now been added. There's also random seagulls available depending on the fauna density setting in your sim, but most of all, the addition of several new sea marks, such as buoys, nav lights, as well as cranes and containers around the commercial ports. It adds realism and immersion to the add-on. Now, the entire product, Marinas, it's available for $14.90 through their own website. This is pretty cool. we're seeing more and more people. Using flight sim as a boat sim, because it's terribly, terribly relaxing. Just, hop into a boat and just go kind of moving around. And sceneries like this would really enhance that level of experience, or particular when it comes to flying general aviation. So a great update there. And as I said, it's available through their own website for €14.90. Now, Simulations, they've released a brand new airport, Kavala Airport, and Lima Golf Kilo Victor. Kavala, located on the eastern Macedonia and Thrace region of Greece. Kavala is renowned for its scenic location and challenging approaches, and it's served by numerous airlines. Aegean, Air Serbia, Austrian, Buzz, Condor, Enter, Eurowings, Scandinavia, TUI, you name it, they're all there. The rendition of the airport, an accurate 3D model of the terminal and control tower with high detail texturing throughout, custom realistic terrain, custom vegetation, and also a handcrafted runway, apron and taxiways, including that of enhanced night lighting. Simulations, I mean, they've done phenomenal work over the years. They've always kind of targeted that neck of the woods, kind of Greece, Macedonia into Turkey, and some of the sceneries they're just gorgeous. Do you know what I mean? This is a place I'm not familiar with, but it seems to have all the hallmarks of the Simulation stuff. That includes terminal interiors, loads of details in and around the airport, and the custom taxiways. Night lighting here looks savage as well. So yeah, great stuff from Simulations. You can pick this one up over on Orbex. It's in around 24 or 28 Australian dollars. That's about £14, $19, or about €16. So yeah, more and more, right, when it comes to all the stuff, when it comes to airports. Moving on, Jurassic World officially coming to Microsoft Flight Sim with thanks to Orbex. Wait, what? Flight plans to the Isla Nublar exactly experience this year, but that's what Orbex has in store for us this summer with Jurassic World, an officially licensed expansion, which is interesting. They haven't gone the Microsoft route, right? So this is whatever Universal products, I suppose. They're saying, Orbex, yeah, we'll do this. This could be pretty cool, right? The cinematic crossover brings the island of Jurassic World into Flight Sim. Expansion lets simmers fly around the whole place, better known to fans as the Isla Nublar, right? And there's a video here we need to watch. Basically, it's Jurassic Park. It's going to include custom airstrips, helipads, VIP terminals, and maybe, just maybe, the thing with the small hands. What are your thoughts on that, lads? What did we think? Thrustmaster tried to make their own island. That was a raving success. But Jurassic World, this is kind of interesting. Derby Shark, good to see you. Chris Van Halen is here. Welcome in. If anyone can do it, Orbex can do it. And hats off to Orbex, right? I think everyone is kind of saying, well, Orbex, they're kind of moving out that direction a little bit. Bearing in mind, Orbex, right? They've changed a lot of staff around recently. They have scenery out on DCS, they have scenery in X-Plane, and they have scenery in Microsoft Flight Sim. They have been focusing more recently on some of the smaller bush kind of sceneries and small general aviation sceneries. We've been checking out a lot of them. This is quite different. This is giving us an entire region, right? Could this be great, or could it be just, we don't know. We honestly don't know. But it's definitely interesting. And it's great to see them working with a studio in this because, well, then there's all sorts of rights and all this sort of jazz. This is something quite new. And do you know what? I'm kind of excited for this. It'll be interesting to see how it works because it's all custom, isn't it? You know what I mean? And what sort of tools they can play around with here in the generation of the world's generation. I mean, look at some of the pictures here. Look, they have the little gadgets that bring them around, and this could be pretty cool, right? And if they're putting, like, look at the fauna and all that, like, it looks stunning. It really does. How they're going to manage when it comes to, like, you know, putting in dinosaurs, or if you don't want the dinosaurs, I don't know. But I think this is something pretty cool. It's interesting, you know, that it was Orbex who went for this rather than someone than Microsoft. Because, I mean, we've seen what Microsoft have done. The Dune expansion. I mean, if you're into Dune, you'd loved it. But if you're not into Dune, not for crying out loud. You know what I mean? This is pretty cool. So let's see what happens. But it's a great leap for Orbex. The initial release will be on Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 on the PC, distributed via Orbex, and then it'll appear in the InSim marketplace. The Xbox version will follow shortly afterwards, along with planned versions for Flight Sim 2020 and X-Plane 12. Orbex are aiming for a late August or early September release window. And at first glance, it feels like the kind of thing Microsoft pursuits might raise an eyebrow at. Fictional islands, animated dinosaurs, theme parks. It's not a replacement for high-fidelity airliners or real-world procedures, but it probably works as an optional playground. A way to let off steam, explore wild terrain, or fly a bush plane over a fully rendered region like what you've seen in the movies. And it is officially licensed from Universal. Intriguing, I think we can say, right? Intriguing. And well done to Orbex. This is something different. I like to see this kind of stuff. So this is pretty cool. So well done there. Now we're almost there. Pyrig have released their Birmingham airport. Birmingham. We got to check this one out last week. It's an absolute friggin' masterpiece. The level of details, it's just gorgeous. Birmingham from Pyrig is amazing. It's priced at €19.99. It is not the cheapest, but you do get a lot of bang for your buck. Practically Geek did an awesome video here. We'll have a quick gawk at that. And as I said, we've checked out this last week. Very impressive. So Pyrig's Birmingham, it's very, very impressive. As I said, we flew it there last week in the sim. It's highly detailed. It's like one of these ultra realistic sceneries. Fantastic stuff here. So it's now available. You can go ahead and pick it up, and you can pick it up over on Contrail. So do be sure to check it out. Absolutely brilliant. No mountains of rubbish bags. Not realistic. Brilliant. But yes, another massive release last week, or that we previewed last week, was Newcastle. And this, again, super high fidelity of Newcastle. RW released this one, RW Profiles. It's now available. You can pick it up through any bills, priced at $12.99. Again, it's another landmark scenery, probably their best work. It's excellent.
Could we get better? I do whatever. Are you lost and too far to be found? I fell and forgot how to find you. Open your mind, open your arms to me. Give me a sign that I can read.
So, Newcastle International Airport also released for Microsoft Flight Sim. Two amazing sceneries in the UK have released in the past week. And of course, we saw Larnaca as well, destinations to and from. So yeah, this is available right now, priced at £12.99 over from the InnyBuild store. This and Birmingham, I think, are probably the loudest releases we've seen last week. Larnaca in there as well. And of course, we've had Choppers. So it's been a busy week for releases in the sim. Now, Flight Sim 2020 gets a new update, Sim Update 16. It's now available. Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 may no longer be the shiny new toy, but is still very much alive. Asobo and Microsoft rolled out Sim Update 16, the first major patch since the release of Flight Sim 2024, and the update basically focusing on, well, let's talk about it. It exists in a slightly odd place, 2024 being the main place of when it comes to development, but a large chunk of the community, whether by choice or necessity, well, they continue to use Flight Sim 2020. I still use Flight Sim 2020. To keep things running smoothly, the Microsoft Flight Sim team is maintaining core systems in 2020 that also underpin the 2024 project: world data, nav systems, avionic frameworks, and even the marketplace assets. The update aligns with 2020's Bing Maps data with the newer 2024 data set. And we saw this is pretty cool. You know, Microsoft 2024 data was able to be pushed into 2020. It adjusts how terraforming and water polygons behave, brings in dozens of avionics fixes and improvements across multiple Garmin units and also the integrated systems. Working title have been flat out here. So if you're still flying on 2020, this should mean fewer bugs, more accurate data, and better long-term compatibility, especially for aircraft and scenery that are designed to work across both platforms. The aircraft and avionics under the hood improvements, mainly the 787, the Longitude and also the TBM, received a suite of enhancements, including new FMS flows, better enunciators, and also additional pitch airspeed cues. A new Sim Update 3 beta just dropped. I thought you said the Sim Update 3 has released. Jesus, Newfoundland, good to see it. Hope you're well. In the avionics department, the G1000 NXI now has visual pathways on the PFD. The G3000, G5000 receive VNAV updates, also for TOS alerts. The G3X Touch, the GNS units, the Primus Epic, and others, they all got massive updates. Stability, terrain, and system refinements. There's crash fixes, improved memory management, particularly when it comes to the Xbox Series S. The S got a lot of work here. Time zone data updates and also nav data resolution improvements have been done. There's a fairly substantial changelog, but it's a good sign anyway to show that, you know, 2020 is still getting the love. I have this installed. We'll be checking it out here now in a little while. But what are your thoughts on Sim Update 16 for 2020? I mean, should 2020 still be looked at, or park that and put all your attention into 2024? Don't know. But I have heard Xbox Series S in particular have seen massive updates with this, so that's good. Over to hardware, Mini Cockpit shares details of an upcoming mini overhead panel. Ooh. So, founded by two real airline pilots for Airbus, Mini Cockpit has been hard at work in recent years transforming home simulator setups into mini-scale replicas of Airbus cockpits. Released last year, the Mini FCU and also the Mini EFIS home cockpit hardware model the controls associated with the Airbus A3X series glare shield, albeit a slightly smaller scale than the real-world version. In its most recent product roadmap, Mini Cockpit revealed an upcoming hardware, including its condensed mini version of the Airbus overhead panel. Now, from a recent post on the hardware manufacturer's social media, we've learned that the scaled-down overhead panel will be next in the series to be released. It's a small footprint replica of the overhead panel found inside the Airbus A3XX aircraft, so I imagine your 320s, 330s, and so on. Designed to enhance the realism of home cockpit users at an affordable price, the panel features switches and button controls for the most commonly used operations of Airbus aircraft. Mini Cockpit say that the hardware will feature high-resolution injected model switches or molded switches, also some rotary knobs that replicate the feel of real aircraft controls. Functions include aircraft lighting, anti-ice, ground proximity warning, landing flap 3 push button, APU operations, seat belts, and even your windscreen wipers. According to Mini Cockpit, Airbus distinct Cori push button switches will be replicated using custom designed dual colour LED buttons with 2mm of travel. While the visual layout is authentic, users will have the option to customize the functions of the buttons and switches to suit their needs and flight simulation software. It's designed to be modular, will work standalone or seamlessly integrated with other Mini FCU and Mini EFIS that allows users to build an integrated home cockpit operated through Mini Cockpit's data link software. The unit will also ship with a free mounting frame, enabling users to mount it alongside. Prospective customers can expect sales to begin in September of this year. The unit's price starting at $189, while the Mini overhead will be offered via the manufacturer's website at a discount provided for early backers of the initial Kickstarter campaign, which sold out in a matter of minutes back in 2023. They also teased its version of the Airbus eCam panel and radio management panel, though no further details have been announced. Let's have a look at this, right? What are your thoughts? So it's a mini little panel, right? And it's your overhead, landing flap 3, wing anti-ice, engine anti-ice, right? APU bleeds, external power, lighting, seat belts, APU, and your externals, your call button, and your wiper. Seems to have just exactly what we need, right? Medic 24 Live, good to see you. Slap the FFA livery on it, do my first flight, man yourself. Brilliant. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? There's no real world renders. We're just looking at pictures right now. 2 millimeters of travel, looks nice. Price wise, what you think? $189 for this? Seems all right, doesn't it? And then some of the other stuff, I mean, that's pretty cool looking, isn't it? €190. Some of the other stuff they're working on, the Mini eCam, I mean, that will be super handy instead of you having to look down all the time. The radio one, I think, is going to be very popular, especially for VATSIM pilots. Very, very popular, right? And can this work across other aircraft as well? I mean, that's going to be the main thing, isn't it? So yeah, looking forward to seeing what happens from here. So good news. Over to X-Plane. Flight Factor have released the Rolls-Royce Trent 800 engines for their 777-200 extended range version 2. Flight Factor have announced the release of the Rolls-Royce engines for the 777 add-on, available to owners of the Engine Extension Pack. The announcement was made over on the xplane.org forums. According to Ramses from Flight Factor, the new addition for the 777 features a completely new 3D model for the engine, as well as new sounds specifically created for this engine type. Additionally, the Trent 800 includes a new engine pressure ratio and thrust model, which are stated to be within 2% of real-world figures. For new customers, the full product of the 777-2 Ultimate with the engine expansion pack can be purchased over on the xplane.org store for $104. That's right, friends, $104. Existing owners can acquire the engine pack upgrade for $15. Now, I will say this, without a shadow of a doubt, and we'll argue this till the cows come home and then go back out and then come home again. Flight Factor have made an incredible rendition of a 777. This is probably the most detailed, super high fidelity. You know, you have to wear an anorak, even just reading the manual, if you want to fly a 777. This aircraft is superb. It's superb. And flying this in X-Plane is quite the treat. It's an amazing aircraft add-on. What they've managed to do, the coding, the logic, the depth, it's staggering. But this is, I don't want to use the word, this is for serious simmers. This is for the hardcore simmer. We're all serious about our sims. And by saying you're serious about it. You've invested money in it and you like your add-ons or whatever. This is a hardcore kind of an add-on, because this goes from kind of very realistic to, no, I can actually train on this. You know what I mean? It's very, very good. The 777 from Flight Factor, it is an incredible aircraft. Flight Factor have done amazing things here. And it's just a beautiful aircraft to fly. Beautiful aircraft to fly. And it's great to see it. Like, if you were to compare this versus what we have from PMDG, Flight Factor will win. Only because there's such a depth to everything that they have. I think PMDG have done a great job at kind of at a level, right? They've leaned into some areas pretty well, but overall that's more of a rounded product. I think this is more of a study simulation. If that makes sense. I mean, you can absolutely study this thing. It's class, but it's not for the faint-hearted at all. This is an X-Plane add-on at the absolute pinnacle of what's possible on consumer flight sims, I think. Great bit of stuff, though. Microsoft Flight Sim is becoming Star Citizen. Now, over to DCS, we showed this trailer the other day. I have to show it again because I'm totally super duper excited. The C-130J is now available for pre-order. And I don't know if you saw this trailer or not, but you need to watch it because it's just holy crap, right? Look at this.
Jesus. Jesus. Isn't that absolutely nuts looking? Oh, chills, lads, chills. Jesus.
What a trailer as well, just incredible. But like, man alive, the state of that. If anything is going to twist your arm to try DCS, especially for those who may not want to be doing, you know, necessarily the combat element where it's like air to air or air to ground, this is a great entry point because you can do transport missions, reconnaissance, and of course there's combat stuff in there as well, but there's all sorts of resupply, you name it, right? And it looks absolutely incredible. The official eShop, this is going to be priced at $55.99 or directly from the Airplane Simulation Company's website for £43. It's also been noted that the C-130J will be available on Steam at a later date. I gotta say, lads, it looks stunning. And we know that Blackbird Sim are indeed working on their C-130 for Microsoft Flight Sim. And I suppose if you couple that with what we have now from the Mission Hub from Miltech, well, I mean, we could get some really, really nice C-130 action in Microsoft Flight Sim. But this just looks incredible. It looks incredible. You know what I mean? But anyway, I just had to show it because I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And the excitement for that machine is real. It looks beautiful. And the trailer, like DCS make unbelievable trailers, you know. And then you load it up and you can't get the camera to work and you're like, yeah, right? That happens all the time. Now, moving on to this, I want to show you this. Colonel Fork reached out to me and he said, Murph, I found a gadget and this could be very good. And I'm going to put this into the chat for all to see. Because if you're on the PC, install this. It's very important. Aircraft Type Designator Mod. It's a model match enhancer. The Aircraft Type Designator mod enhances Microsoft Flight Sim ICAO Aircraft Designator database by including non-standard aircraft types. The mod facilitates accurate model matching in multiplayer, ensuring that users see the correct models regardless of the installed liveries. Compatible with both 2020 and 2024, it covers a variety of aircraft, including warbirds and helicopters. Users can suggest missing designators for future updates to improve the mod's accuracy. What? This is like, finally someone, right? Finally someone. And who's the developer here? Fly and Dive. The legend that's Fly and Dive. We know the name. So basically, it's a small, tiny little file. You drop it into your community folder, right? And the idea is it will detect what the other aircraft are based on the ICAO. If the ICAO isn't there, i.e. you have no model in which it can load it in, then only then it'll point it back to a generic A7300 for. You know, the mad looking yokes, right? This should be really, really good. So I've put the link in the chat. Grab it. One thing it does state, go into your multiplayer options in the sim and turn the traffic setting onto ultra, because this is how it's going to best render other aircraft around you. Yeah, the Boeing A7 or 373. That's the one, Shadow Mage. Anyway, it's compatible with both sims, and the idea behind it is, if you don't have a livery, it doesn't matter. See this generic crap, right? If you have the aircraft installed but don't have a custom livery, another user has loaded a multiplayer. Well, at the moment, if they're using, for instance, Parallel 42's Kitfox with a custom livery, well, typically your sim is going to show that as a Tail Dragon Bonanza. With this mod, it'll say, well, no, it is a Kitfox. You just don't happen to have the livery, so I'm going to draw it in as a Kitfox. Like, this is genius, right? And I imagine this will... I hope it's going to be somewhat short-lived, because Microsoft will say, we better do this, or a Sobo, right? Because that's what they're supposed to be doing. And I think they are doing that for, Sim Update 3. But in the meantime, this should at least make things a little bit better. Now, if it means, if you don't have the aircraft model, nothing you can do. Nothing you can do, but you might be able to suggest then to Fly and Dive to say, hey, do you see that what was it? Like, some aircraft always default to an A330, and it's like, why is that showing as an A330? You know what I mean? Or maybe the file, I don't know, can we update the file? I've popped it into my community folder. This is how it works, right? Zoom in here. So, where is this now? In multiplayer, the user nears an aircraft. Does the user have the same livery? Yes, the user sees the correct livery. If you don't, is the aircraft ICAO recognized by the simulator? If it is, you'll see a similar aircraft based on that ICAO. If you don't, the user sees an appropriate generic aircraft. It's free. It's free. Yeah, twin engine turbine helis show up as A330s. Well, there, hopefully now, Michael, this sorts it, right? Mr. Michael, that's what we hope for. Corn Wolf, good to see you. Vertical takeoff is funny. It's mad. Tail Dragon Bonanzas, Tail Dragon A330s, it's brilliant. Now, I'm unsure if we can get in here and kind of, I don't think I haven't figured out how to edit this. So it's something that Fly and Dive will do himself. You know what I mean? But that's free. Massive shout out to Colonel Fork for pointing me in that direction. Fair dues to him. The man is a genius and a legend. So thank you very much indeed, Colonel Fork, for telling me. What else did I want to do here now before we move on to what it is we're supposed to be doing? Bit of feedback already from Top Max Studios. Sim Update 16 has managed to break some of their aircraft avionics. That's expected. They're working on a patch. So try not to get too excited. They're aware of the issues, so they're going to get that working soon. Where is this one now? Murphy, why can't you just put things in places that you remember where they are, right? Because you're an idiot. Where is this now? I'm looking for a button. I will find the button. Jesus. I want to show you another trailer. Here we go. This one here, lads, coming from Hangar Studios. It's a trailer. Are you sitting down now? I'm going to show you a trailer from Hangar Studios. Your undivided attention, please.
Out where the blacktop ends and the trees begin, I roll the throttle back and breathe it in. She don't care for comfort, she don't care for speed. She's built for the rough stuff, just what I need. No tarmac welcome, no tower call, just gravel, wind, She holds my hopes, my gear, my plan, through the clouds and over the land, yeah. Only an American champion scout can.
Doesn't it look very pretty? Gorgeous. So the official Scout trailer, that's what we're looking at here. So the Scout on the way from Hangar Studios, and I gotta say, it looks gorgeous. And particularly when they're talking about e-stall or stall capable, we all know that there's e-stall, right? The virtual kind of stall championships, and it's something we're going to be starting hopefully in the coming weeks. And it's a cool looking aircraft. Hangar Studios have absolutely smashed it in the past. The Decathlon, one of our absolute favourites. Just incredible stuff, and great to see this aircraft now on the way. And I think that's going to be my little stall companion when we start looking at the e-stall stuff. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for this when the release comes out. Well, it looks incredible. Really, really does, do you know? Max Stallion, good to see you. Do you know if there's any developers out there working on a BO105? Yes, there is. I don't know how far along the development it is, but, you know, Muse fan, you're terrible. Yeah, the BO105, Red Bull are behind one of those in the real world.
Good nooning.
But anyway, right, what we're going to do here, this is Cowan Sim. Oh, hang on, I have another thing to show you. Jesus, sorry, lads, I've one more to show you, and then we can go. I have to show you this. This is coming soon. We spoke about this before. Which now? We spoke about this before. Navigraph are working on an entire new virtual private pilot license course, amongst others. You know, they're going to go into the commercial route. It's all about training. And we saw trailers about this mentioned some months ago. And this is going to be a way that's actually going to teach you the characteristics of flying, be it from the theoretical side, but also the practical side in your flight simulator. And the training is being delivered by real world flying instructors. Real world pilots are going to be giving you this training. And it's all going to be built up, be it from video tutorials, ground school lessons, all that jazz. And it's going to be available as part of your Navigraph subscription. Check out this video here. This is pretty cool. I'm excited for this.
You have arrived. Welcome to Navigraph Academy and your very own virtual private pilot's license course. Here, you'll experience the thrill of mastering the art of flying and earn the right to call yourself a certified virtual pilot. No matter your experience level or your current knowledge of flight simulators, be safe with the knowledge that will get you airborne and flying in no time. Along the way, you'll make use of Navigraph's completely new learning systems, helping you sharpen your skills and become as good as real-life pilots at maneuvering, performing landings, and finding exciting places to go visit. This course is for you, and it's all free. Strap in and get on board, and let's go flying together. This course is designed to enable anyone to learn to fly in our most modern flight simulators. Maybe you felt overwhelmed by complicated setups and vast amount of different aircraft types and realism settings. Perhaps you're struggling to understand how to maintain altitude or navigate your way around the world or take off and land. Or perhaps you've enjoyed flight simulators for some time, but you want to sharpen your flying skills to match real-world flying standards. This course is as real as it gets. We're confident we have created something uniquely realistic. We will make use of real flight training methods and focused on what's important, such as attitude flying and pitch and power techniques, just like you would in real life. We're even replicating the timeline of a customary flight training course. Briefings, guided flight sessions, and flight analytics will make sure you'll get the maximum training value at all times. The course is made up of a number of lessons, and each lesson will teach you a core flying skill. A core flying skill is a specific maneuver or flight procedure that you can master to perfection, such as turns or visual navigation. In this first course, you're going to master these fundamental flying skills, which is a great base for learning to fly any plane, be it an airliner or a small general aviation aircraft, in any simulator. The end goal of this course is to attain the skill set required to attain your very own VPPL, a virtual private pilot's license. We will use the iconic Cessna 172, one of the greatest training aircraft ever produced. For this course, we're going to use Microsoft Flight Simulator as our simulator. In it, you'll find the Cessna 172 fitted with the G1000 avionics suite, which is available in all game release versions. This means you can jump straight into your flight training with us. We've gathered an amazing team with a ton of aviation teaching experience to guide you on your flight training journey. We're in for a great ride together. And before we begin, I'd like to share a bit about my background. I bring 3 decades of experience in aviation safety and training, with extensive expertise in transport category aircraft and a broad range of general aviation experience. I will serve as your flight instructor, teaching you the practical aspects of flying, including aircraft maneuvering and operation. Joining me, I have great aviators to help. Martin is our ground instructor, and he'll be giving you the meat of the course. Martin is a former airline captain and a long-time certified flight instructor. Having written several books that are used in private pilot training in Europe, he's a perfect match to teach you the science behind everything we're going to do.
I will be teaching you and helping you to prepare for your flight lessons throughout the course. And in this role, I will cover the theory behind flight, hopefully giving you all the amazing insights into the aerodynamics of the flight maneuvers that you will get to fly. I will also be explaining the procedures, the aircraft technical systems, and a lot more. And whereas Jason is more focused on the practice of flying, I will be here to tell you all about the interesting theoretical knowledge behind it all.
Andy will be your guiding voice on all matters related to flight simulators. Andy has been flight simulating for many years and knows a lot about how to achieve amazing virtual flying experiences. He is also a trained commercial pilot and former airline pilot, so he knows a thing or two about the realism of modern flight simulators.
I'm here to help ensure that you, as a student, have a positive learning experience. We all know that getting started can be a daunting task, and in my role as a community manager at Navigraph, I hope to alleviate many of the difficulties by guiding your flight training journey, such as configuring your flight controls and selecting the best simulator settings. I also join in at times to discuss real-life aviation ties and trivia that relate to your flight training sessions. For example, there are plenty of lessons to be learned from real-life incidents and accidents and how they have shaped why we fly the way we do today. Finally, it's important to address both the differences and similarities between virtual flight training and real-life flight training. There are some key differences, but you'll probably also be surprised at the level of realism that is achievable with today's simulators.
Your journey starts at our training website, where you can access our in-game training sessions. All of our content and our missions is 100% free. You'll experience all the training and theory that is included in our courses.
We are so glad to have you on board Navigraph Academy, and we are very excited to start flight training with you. See you at the Academy and in the airplane.
Now, this is brilliant, right? It's just brilliant. Now, I'm unsure, when they say it's 100% free, I'm unsure, is this going to require you to have an active Navigraph subscription, right? So let's have a look. What's it all about? Watch the teaser for a sneak peek. The team, course, prioritize your ability, building your theoretical foundation, bridging the gap. It doesn't say. So I don't know, is this going to be 100% free for anyone, or it's part of your Navigraph subscription? That I'm unsure of. I'd be very surprised if it's free. You know what I mean? But the idea was they were going to be building this into charts. This is the beginning of what they're working on in the project. I remember chatting to Navigraph about this. It's like, holy crap, lads, this is huge. And yeah, I know, it's pretty huge. So they know what they're doing. And, it's more than just the PPL aspect, right? So Navigraph, where is it now? Navigraph Flight Academy. Because there was going to be other stuff here as well. Flight simulation has evolved dramatically. That's all okay. So bridging the theory and practice. What are we looking at? Real world relevance. Watch the video trailer below. Raise the bar. Welcome new simmers. Connect sim to reality. There's this now. Here's the trailer that they were talking about
you
at
have
Expo.
Arrived. Welcome to Navigraph Academy.
Where is this
it's
now?
All free. Strap in.
They're saying it's all for free,
let's
so
go flying together.
yeah. I don't know. There's other information about it and what they're working on. Where is this now? Because there was other courses they were going to do. You know what I mean? It's an e-learning platform. But yeah, once I have more information, lads, I will share it with you. But I think this is massive news, like massive. I put a link in there into the chat. If you want to click on that, you can click on it, and you can then subscribe yourself to say, hey, I want to know more. Let me be the first to know. You just drop your email in there, and then you horse it in. All right. Yeah, there's free and then there's free. I'm unsure, lads. I don't actually know. We'll try and find out for you though. But they're saying it's free. Like if it's going to be. Is that the same video? If it's going to be, and like they show X-Plane on this as well, if it's going to be something completely free for the flight sim community, well then that's incredible. If it's going to be something that's locked under their own Navigraph subscription, that's still pretty good. That's still pretty good because it's part of your subscription to Navigraph, which gives you all your AirAC, your nav data, and your charts. You know what I mean? So yeah, huge stuff there and great bit of stuff coming from Navigraph. Anyway, back to here. Now we're going to check out some aircraft, right? It's a busy night. So this is the Cowan Sim, the S-76++, or the C S-76++. Now, as stated, it's not a native 2024 aircraft. It's a 2020 aircraft, but it should be working well in both. And if you look at some of the details, they're actually pretty staggering. I'm loaded into Flight Sim 24 right now, and we have some very, very nice details here. There's some elements whereby, depending on the livery, you can kind of see, yeah, this is definitely a 2020 aircraft, but I think overall you're going to be impressed by just the detailings that Cowan Sim have managed to put in. Bearing in mind, they're not a massive studio, right? They're not a massive studio. Steiny is here. Good to see you, buddy. Like, detailing in the wheel arch, in the wheel well, like there's a lot of cool stuff going on here. A lot of cool stuff going on. So visually, it's unmistakably an S-76. Right, the Sikorsky S-76, a very famous helicopter. These are used all over the place. Multi-role aircraft, law enforcement, air ambulance, VIP transport, surveying, tons and tons of stuff. They're a very interesting helicopter. And you can see here from the modelling, you know, how the rotors droop down, the overall shape, the overall stance of the aircraft. It's quite a wide helicopter as well. You mightn't kind of, you know, it's every bit as wide as an Alouette. It's quite a big chopper. This is a big helicopter. And we have a retractable landing gear. We have a couple of probes built onto the nose there. We have wipers. Some of the details on the rotors, including, if you look closely, there is an LED light sitting on the rotor. We'll look at that later on when it comes to the night lighting. But looking at some of the details here on the main rotor assembly, looking down onto the, you know, she connects into the gearbox. All sorts of details here. Like intricate details, springs, you know, the safety holders for the springs. You're getting a lot of detail here, right? And as I say, this aircraft released the same day as the MH60, so it was somewhat dwarfed by the release of that, you know, of the MH60. But we got some really nice details here, beautiful reflections, and again, depending on the paint scheme you've gone with, you can really see some nice detailing here. Very, very pretty indeed. Moving down to the tail assembly. Again, level of detail here, I think it's fantastic. Beautiful. Beautiful attention to detail, loads of decals, loads of little features. I mean, even the weld marks, like it's just done very, very well, isn't it? It looks beautiful. It really does, right? So visually, I've no faults here. I mean, I think this thing looks beautiful. It really, really does. It comes with an absolute truckload of different liveries as well. Cowan Sim, you know, 20, 30 liveries, that's nothing to them. So there's a ton of liveries of this. The aircraft that I've gone with, they're customizable so far as we can say what we want the interior to be. So this one is I think it's HEMS. She's medical air transport, air ambulance kind of stuff. There's no winch, so search and rescue capabilities wouldn't be here, but certainly the likes of passenger transport, HEMS, that kind of stuff, well, that's all there. So jumping on into the flight deck or the cockpit, and it's quite modern, it's very nice. We have some nice details here. There is a little EFB. High performance group pilots will be used to something like this. Small little EFB on the side, click to open, and now we have some options. This is where we can toggle doors, open and close doors. You can hide them if you wish. The cabin type, you can be a luxurious cabin, offshore cabin, or even the HEMS cabin. And if we have a look at the cabin, this is set up for HEMS. and it's done pretty nicely. Again, we can show, click on the stretcher, the gurney, you can actually put in, you know, a Kazovac in there as well. So aesthetically, there's a lot of nice stuff going on here. Click of a button and it'll change everything behind you as well, right? As we look into the window, very plush, luxurious seating, absolutely gorgeous, right? So we do get a couple of nice options here. So I think they've done well. So I'm going to put this back to what we were doing. You can also do the HEMS door and have a stretcher deploy outside, right? Here comes your stretcher. So if you wanted to do those kind of HEMS missions or an air ambulance mission, it's a nice touch they've put that there. Do you know what I mean? Right, so what about powering the unit up? Because it's interesting, right? Toggle door, toggle door, toggle door, toggle door. And I don't want to have that pilot beside me. Good luck to you. You can disappear all them. Nice. One problem with the release of the aircraft, it doesn't come with an inbuilt checklist. And that's kind of, you know, me included. I was like, Jesus, right? So I had to go off to the website and figure out, well, how do I get this to work? What are the features and all the jazz? So I will show you what I've learned so far. We're going to power up the aircraft, have a listen to its sounds, and then see what happens from there. It's also important to note every single circuit breaker has been modeled. Or I say every single, I'm almost certain, or at least most of the circuit breakers are fully modeled here. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them, right? No checklist. Can we show the offshore? So the offshore cabin is just 12 seats. Just a whole load of seats, look. Tons of seats for the offshore crew. Now, we've an extra button down here. HEMS cabin, medical, or offshore. All right. Cabin door steps, you can remove or put them back in as well. So that's what they do. Forsex Shark, good to see you. Flying sardine can. Yeah, kind of. But again, you can kind of see just inside visually, there's a couple of issues I'm not happy with. I think the textures in here are crap, right? This sort of stuff. I know what they were trying to do, but this is a bad idea. The reason being is if you're being drawn, if your eyes are being drawn to somewhere because it's of either relevance or you're going to be interacting with it a lot, you don't want to see bad texturing. Unfortunately, this chopper has some of it. In particular, when you look around the door frame, like that's right in your field of view. I left a circuit breaker out, did I? Did I? I did. Well spotted, Creo, you're back in the wheel. Nick saw it as well. So this sort of stuff, it's not ideal. You don't want to be seeing that. Because it from a distance, it's absolutely fine, right? See that? Like it actually adds, oh yeah, that's a nice wear and tear. But when your eyes are so close to it, you don't want to see that. You know what I mean? But anyway, also, the layout of the aircraft is actually quite compact in here, right? Because you have this friggin' back wall, which makes reaching for, you know, your propellers or your throttles, not your collective, but your throttles, quite difficult, right? So anyway, let's see what we can do. We'll jump on down here. We're going to put some power into the aircraft. So we're going to go battery on. The master start switch comes on. Emergency lights to arm. Cabin lights, stick them on. Logo light on. External lights, anti-collision both. Landing light no. Strobes, position lights, right? Looking down the way here, the cabin door we can lock or unlock. We also have this one here, right? Your AFCS indicator. We'll stick it on pitch because that'll give us an idea of where our controls are moving. It does come with an FMS. We can fully program. It also comes with a comprehensive autopilot. The aircraft has a very good autopilot system built in, but we'll worry about that now in a moment. We have various test panels here. There's a lot of buttons on this aircraft. It's great to see. So this is our main engine indicator screen. We're going to be focusing on this. So onto our overhead, we're going to move our fuel levers into the crossfeed position to get us up and running. We're going to open and move our throttle over the gate on both sides, right? And we're going to engage the starter on both sides. So both engines coming up. Rotors be moving. And we monitor. The sounds on this are excellent. these guys go back to direct fuel. Direct fuel. On down here. And let's start playing with stuff. So, generators. Up we go. Starter off. EFS radio and inverters coming on board. And just to get an idea of the sounds, this is when I open the window. Isn't that very good? Really, really good sounds, right? Now, what else do I want to do? You can. There's a lot of clipping, especially with that back wall. Can't do much about it, right? We'll get some lights on up here. And we'll get our landing lights on.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Thank you, Medic24 Live. Scared the crap out of me. Okay, so get that out the way. We're finishing this tablet, put him away. Other things we want to look at here, I think we're okay. It shouldn't like scream at me too loud. Weather radar in there as well. Reset our barrow, reset our directional indicator. And we do have some of the aircraft autopilot features which we can play with. So let's see here now. Autopilot 1 can go on. Flight director and SAS can be activated here as well. And let's see what happens. Alright, so easy does it. So park and brake coming off, right? Would I recommend the MH60? 100% AV Apollo. Alright, so let's add in tiny bits of collective here. Easy. All sorts of shakes, rattles and rolls. Great animations, isn't there? Easy. Oopsie daisy. We're airborne. Don't go into the hangar, Merv. They won't be happy about that. Start a bit of a left turn. Let's check externally as we're moving. Those sounds, lads. Amazing, right? Very pretty indeed. Now there's a couple of weird things I've found, right? Any sort of movement on your cyclic, it has a detrimental impact on your torque. Now I don't know, is this a 2020 thing or a 2024 thing, but it's not right. It's too pronounced, right? So you might have to adjust some of your sliders on this. Also, the ground handling on this is pretty bad, I think, because that nose wheel has a mind of its own. It's the only thing, right? But is it flyable? Of course it's flyable. So let's see what happens here. So, bit of collective. Now we're moving nicely on the ground. Bit more collective. We're on the anti-torque. Cyclic moving where we need it. Give ourselves a wee turn here. Those sounds, lads. Watch your torque. Gear up. And we're moving nicely. 50 to 60 knots already. A little bit more collective. Hear that rotor slap? Amazing. Up to 90 knots already. Watch the torque. There's an auto governor on this aircraft anyway, so in terms of throttle inputs, shouldn't be needed. Just collective. You know what I mean? Gear animation, sure. Very pretty. Right, round to the left. Check the sounds. Very, very nice. The sounds of this machine are awesome. I like the S-76. It's not designed to be thrown around the place. This is a very kind of go handy with this one. Be gentle. Jesus. All right, let's drop the gear. Lower the collective. We'll nose up to try and bleed off the speed. Easy. Keep the nose up. Speed is coming down nicely. Make sure we don't hit any sort of VRS or that. 60 knots. Ease the way down to that runway. Like moving from the MH60, which is extremely stable, and I mean extremely stable, you don't have the same experience with this chopper. This thing can really haul ass. It can move fast. But you have to be so very deliberate with your intentions in terms of how you control it. Easy. 30 knots. There's a touchdown. And we sit tight. Right? Now, what about the lighting, you might ask? Well, let's go ahead and check out the night lighting. So we have our high intensity searchlight ahead of us. We also have a number of switches down here we can play with. So these are all your internal lights, right? Glare shield. But you also have additional lights up here as well. So if I were to turn on my head or flashlight, see these, like the lighting on this thing is absolutely incredible, right? Because the lights just look class, lads. I mean, look at that lighting. Isn't that superb, look? Isn't it very nice lighting? Beautiful, right? Exterior lights. Remember we saw the LEDs in the rotors? And again, it's up to us if we want them on or off, yeah? So if we come down here to our exterior lights, let's have a look. Landing lights, put them onto pulse. Anti-collision lights, leave them on both. Strobes, put them on both. It's pretty cool. Now, I'm unsure. Maybe Epic Fool can tell us. I don't know, can you move that searchlight? I'm sure there's a bind for it somewhere, right? Or at least I hope. But easy now. Let's get the gear in. And let's have a look at some of the speeds you can do, right? Merv, have you tried switching the SAS ATT? You can do that from down here. So that's all to do with locking in the attitude. Like, you have a ton of stability controls with this aircraft. See the roll then as well? And yaw. So let's talk speed, right? Get the nose down gently. And we'll have a look at the speed, right? Don McToko, welcome in. We as viewers hear a lot of typical helicopter whir sound. Do you hear much of that too, or are you protected from the most of it by your headphones, like real pilots? No, you can hear. I hear what you hear. You know what I mean? Like, headphone simulation doesn't seem to do anything when you put on the headphones. That's something I'd like to see Cowan Sim bring in, right? So she's going to start giving out about her speed now. We're hitting 140 knots, look. And like, listen to the rotor slap when we give it a a high speed turn. And that's incredible, lads, isn't it? That's incredible. So you get the idea. You absolutely get the idea, right? Not too shabby at all. So that, lads, is the Cowan Sim S-76, and that's in Flight Sim 2024. We'll also check it out in Flight Sim 2020 as well. Looks great, sounds good, sounds great. Couple of visual issues inside. The ground handling is borked. Like if I do some rudder inputs on idle, we shouldn't be able to do that. Just shouldn't be able to do that. And if you try and move forward for taxiing, it goes a little bit bananas. See the way it's just turning and rolling, and that front gear, that front wheel, it becomes non-responsive when you kind of push the cyclic forward. That's an issue. So they need to fix the ground handling. Don't know how well you can see that front wheel, but like, see the crack here, look? You can't turn it at all. So just, the governor is good. The governor works, but it's an automatic governor on the helicopter. You know what I mean? But I think it's good. I think it's a great release from Cowan Sim, and there is a patch already on the way. We're just waiting for that. All right. So our next aircraft we need to have a quick look at is, of course, the A2A Sim Aerostar. This received yet another update, right? And we're on 0.98, right? I don't think they've added any liveries to this machine yet, but we do have the old the dirty upgrade, right? So we're just going to load into this one quickly before we fire up Flight Sim 2020 to go through some of the updates there, right? So we're just going to jump in here and let's see, bring the time of day back a little bit. That looks good. And let's start having a look at this, right? So if we check out the A2A forums, because this update is quite huge, right? Let me see. Aerostar 0.98. Where is the update for this? A2A Simulations Aerostar version 0.98. Okay. So I just want to show you what they've been working on here, because it's like, what? So this came from Lewis, and version 0.98, new beacon lights, they've added fan sounds, right? Added jacks, not those sort of jacks. Added pitot tube covers, air vents. The amp meter no longer shows battery charging amps, autopilot, compass card correction. Look at all the fixes here, and also features. Windshield textures, right? They've done a ton of work here on this latest update to their early access model. And it's called Scott's. It's called Scott's update. So this is what Scott Gentile has been working on, right? So if we're now looking at the aircraft, easy now, we can see that we have a ton of new details when it comes to looking at things like the textures are coming up there. We can see dirt and grime on the aircraft. This thing is getting very, very good indeed. Flying Dive is here. Good to see you. Flying Dive, are you the same Flying Dive who made the mod for model matching? If you are, you, sir, are royalty. Welcome in. So we're bringing up our new tablet. Let's have a look here now. So we're going to go into the Aerostar. We're up to date, version 9.8. So let's see if we go for the new stuff. See the jacks, and it actually puts the aircraft on jacks. And the reason why she does this, lads, this is when you'd be testing the landing gear, right? That's why you'd have it up on the jacks. So for instance, right, if we were to jump into the cockpit now and we were to say, right, lovely job, stick on the battery. And this, you know, it's not a great thing when you start messing with this, but this allows you to test out the landing gear. Where the hell did I put that crown? Flying Dive, welcome in, buddy. That is the man behind the, look how slow they are, look. That's the man behind it. Fantastic stuff. So there's no hydraulic pressure. See how slow they are? Right? And yeah, you can drop the aircraft without the jacks and you'll shag it, right? So that's a problem. So we need to get hydraulic pressure in here. There's a hydraulic pump, and that fixes that problem, right? Lower the gear. So you can make sure, you know, you can test the way things are working, which is nice, right? So get rid of the jacks. All right. Now, some of the other things, battery avionics, alternator mags, they've added a new beacon light. It's a rotating beacon that they've added underneath the aircraft, which is a nice touch. They did the same on the tail as well. Nice. Yeah, did you not know that, Epic? I never did that in the chopper. I'll show you on 2020. You can get Jemima to give you a passenger briefing. Yeah, it's over in the test buttons. So they're the new, the lights being added. This is just an aircraft going from strength to strength, I think. It's gorgeous, man. I love this airplane. Absolutely love it. So yeah, so with the changes, like the instruments, the glass, the reflections there, I don't know, is there more work they can do in it? Probably. They've already updated these though. They used to be very foggy. And now like there's a lot of cool details on them. Like look at the fingerprint there and all. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So yeah, great bit of stuff here from A2A. Like they're just doing great stuff. Throw in a 750 with a 650. These are on new options as well, right? So yeah, you can throw in on a whole load of avionics here, right? Flight info, controls, park and brake, battery, avionics, alternator. I think still starting the aircraft is a pain in the ass, but you get used to it. You know what I mean? You do get used to it. So a lot of fixes have been done here, which is great to see. And it's if you haven't already got this aircraft, this should be on your shopping list. This is an amazing aircraft. They were saying windshield effects have been added. Yeah, we can see them now, barely. We can see them up there, look. Can you guys see that? That's what you want. You don't want your windscreen to be absolutely friggin' filthy. Let's see if we change the time of day. Can we get the sun bursting into it? Yeah, we can there. Look at that. So you can see those beautiful effects there. That new 2024 glass effects. It's all physics-based lighting. It's hard to see it there, but they are there. 100% are there. And it's the same up here as well. You can kind of see the lines and scratches and stuff. You guys, you'll see it on YouTube. But yeah, isn't it gorgeous looking? So if you haven't got this aircraft already, we're going to do a group flight in this relatively soon. I enjoy flying it. I think this is a beautiful airplane. You know, and if you've watched American Made, well then you're all up in its business. It's gorgeous. Also, the props got a massive overhaul as well. You can see how shiny those prop spinners are now. Just gorgeous, like absolutely gorgeous. Do you know? So yeah, great stuff here from the A2A Sim Aerostar. It's going from strength to strength. All right, so what we need to do now, we're going to jump over to the world of Flight Sim 2020. I want to show you a different aircraft. We're also going to have a look to see what sort of enhancements now are in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, because, well, there's a few, right? There's a few. So we'll just allow the sim to power down, and I'm very impatient, so we'll just kill it. Let's see what we do here, end the task, and now we're going to fire up Flight Sim 2020. Right, and the updates seem to go okay. I managed to get, you know, parallel 42 stripper and so on in there. To move the searchlight, there's a hat switch on the collective called landing lights. Click, hold, and move. Unsure of the binding. Ah, okay. Thank you, Epic Fool. Good man yourself. While we're here as well, lads, while we're waiting for the sim to load, I need to give you some very important news. Two things, right? Two things. First and foremost, where is this now? Where is this now? Hang on now, me good friends. We'll get this sorted.
Cessna 9er Golf X-ray, Ogden Tower, runway 35.
Right, pause the ship. Did anyone notice this? This is from SayIntentions. Have a look at this, lads.
Cessna 9er Golf X-ray, Ogden Tower, runway 35. Hold short. You're number 1 behind the Piper Warrior.
Hold short, runway 35. Number 1 behind the Piper Warrior. Cessna 9er Golf X-ray.
Piper Warrior 5, Papa Whiskey, Ogden Tower, runway 35. Cessna 9er Golf X-ray.
AI-powered general aviation traffic injection has now been added to SayIntentions. It's available right now to their partner customers. This is like their early beta. It just means that they can kind of test stuff with their partners first, and then they'll push it out then to the premium subscribers. But when they were asked, you know, can you add general aviation traffic to your traffic injection for the AI living world? The answer is yep. And now they've just done it, which is massive news. SayIntentions absolutely friggin' smashing it, lads. They really, really are. Do you know what I mean? Goose, she's doing well, buddy. Thanks, man. She's doing well. The second bit of news I wanted to share with you comes from On Air. We were doing some On Air work yesterday, right? And I got notification from On Air. Remember we were saying, you know, wouldn't it be great if there were like backstories? Rather than just saying, here's their mission, go off and fly it. Wouldn't it be great if there was like a backstory, as in, yeah, you know, Johnny burst his toe off the door and we need to medevac him out of here. Backstories, right? Chatting to On Air, and they're like, Murph, do you know what? Yeah, we're actually testing that. It's on our roadmap. We're going to be adding in a lot more details when it comes to the different flights that you're doing, giving more of a meaning behind them. This is the situation. This is what you're to do. You know, the passenger isn't feeling well, or, you know, whatever it is, but they're going to add those backstories in. So I thought that was pretty cool and very exciting. Cannot wait to see more and more, pardon me, of that. And then the last thing we're looking at here before we're waiting on 2020 to load up, we've added a new element to our Discord, right? So yeah, you can see the announcements, but there's also now a new area under our Flight Sim header, and it's just for On Air, right? And it's all about On Air. What is On Air and how do we figure it all out? Yeah. So in order to be able to see that channel, just make sure that you have the cadet role. You should have automatically. If you don't, go back on up to start here, click on the shamrock, and then you're good to go. What is On Air? So this is what it is, right? It is a subscription-based add-on, right? I'm showcasing this weekly because I love this. I think this is amazing. And we had a lot of fun with this in the MH60 helicopter yesterday. It injected traffic in there. We're able to fly and saw the boat, airlift them out, and out we went, right? I think it's very, very good. People get a little bit confused regarding the pricing, okay? So we're going to talk about the pricing for On Air just to explain, right? My humblest of opinions, right? Don't bother with a month access for £9. If you want a taste of what this is, get yourself, 6 months or 3 months. It's $6 a month if you do like 3 months. So 6, 12, 18 for 3 months. Or what I do, I go for 24 months at a time. It works out at £3 a month. It's less than a cup of coffee. It is €72 up front, or it is €42 up front if you go for 12 months. But when you break it back down again, it's less than a cup of coffee per month. And you get a ton of features with this bit of software. You have all your flight tracking. You have a full career mode. There's virtual airline stuff in there as well. And you saw us doing the missions in the MH60 yesterday. It's a lot of fun. And then you've all the industry stuff beside it as well. So if you're interested in it, have a look at it. They do offer a free trial, I think. If not, let me know if you're interested. I'll try and square away a couple of free trials. This is something that just enhances your flight sim experience. It really, really does. And we're always looking at ways of... Adam B. Twitch, good to see you. Flipper Ally, good to see you. There's a 7-day free trial. There we go. I'm always looking at ways of how do we enhance this hobby? Like, how can we make our hobby more fun, more inclusive, more immersive, right? On Air Company, they do it. Without a shadow of a doubt, these guys are absolutely nailing it, because the stuff that you can do in this, it's staggering. I mean, you can hire in your own AI pilots. You can hire in cabin crew. You can open FBOs. You can buy aircraft, lease aircraft. You have to maintain aircraft. Then it has an entire industry mode whereby you can build factories or fulfill logistics for other companies, and you make money based on what their logistics needs are, supply chain. All of that stuff is all tied into it. Speaking of On Air, they were saying, we have a lot of customers who don't do any of the flying. They just like doing the whole, AI is flying all of their routes, and they're building up their industries. So it's pretty cool, right? Other questions that were coming in, is this going to replace what we have at FS Hub? No, FS Hub stays the same. We've tons of stuff going on with FS Hub right now. This is the idea of this. We do have a virtual airline created. We just need to, flush it out a little bit more. But this is going to offer pilots who want to use On Air, will give them a platform of Firefly Air inside of this. Meaning that we'll have a fully fledged economy mode, which is up and running. It's long established, and there's tons of features. So much so you can inject your own FBO into your sim. What? You can inject an airport. You can create your own airport and inject that as scenery into your simulator. Mind blown, right? It's very, very good. You can also connect with other players and share jobs and money. Yeah, 100%. 100%. So does this replace SayIntentions, or does it work alongside? No, this will work alongside with SayIntentions. This is different. SayIntentions is aimed at, the AI living world, so far as you have ATC coverage, traffic injection, SkyOps, that's there. These will talk to each other. That's the next step I need to spend a bit of time on and saying, right, because there is APIs. This talks with AI, what the hell was that? Did you hear that? My cat went nuts. What was that? Jesus. Let's play some music and I go and investigate, because I'm on my own tonight. Do you hear it as well? Hang on, I need to go figure out what this was. You see, that's what happens, right? Cats go feckin' nuts. Spooky, yeah. The missus isn't here tonight and I heard the cat go nuts. Where is she? Hello, cat. She's alive anyway. Who knows, lads? Who knows? Cats are dangerous. Cats are dangerous. But anyway. Anyway, where are we at? The cat. Yeah, it was the cat. Scared the crap out of me. All I can hear was... Do you ever, Mr. Two-Tone is away. Imagine if I told her, yeah, the cat shagged. Listen, what are you doing? Go out and play with the traffic. Right, anyway. SayIntentions should be working just fine On Air, so we need to do a bit more testing. bit more testing. But you can have a look here. I'll share the link, put it into the chat for you there. If you're interested in it, lads, go off and have a look at it. I'm loving it. I'm having loads of fun on air, and I think it's just a fantastic way of expanding base camps, virtual airlines, multiplayer. Like, there's tons of features. Go off and have a look at it and see what you think. All right. So we should be now into the sim. Thank you all. And we're now back in the world of Flight Sim 2020, which has received updates. So we're going to go in and check out some stuff. First and foremost, let's load in with the Sopwith Camel, right? This is from Captain Sim, and we're going to put in this airworthy one. We also have the Australian Flying Corps, the Belgian Air Force, comes with a handful of 8K liveries, right? So we're going to load ourselves into over the road here, Duxford, I suppose, and well, let's see what we can do inside Flight Sim 2020. Now, in terms of what I've found so far in the sim, there's nothing in terms of faster loading or any of that jazz. I haven't seen any of that, right? What I have seen is, you know, better few clouds. I've seen better, whatchamacallit, better stability. I've seen better scenery, right? And I've seen slightly higher frame rates. 10 or 15 FPS, and that's based on having airliners loaded in. So that gives you an idea that they've made some enhancements, in particular when it came to kind of memory management and all this sort of stuff, right? So give this a second to think about live. We'll load ourselves in, and we'll get everything tidied up. We're not going to need GSX here. And hello, Flo, me absolute best buddy of all time, right? Which is just brilliant. And the weather, we might just change the weather.
Parking brakes to request ground services.
Yeah, you're okay there, love. Let's see here now. What are we doing with the weather? Reduce them. Reduce. There we go. Oh, jeez, it's too much. There we go. Right. So, time of day, because we can't see a shagging thing, Murph. Can we do something here? No. So we're going to turn the aircraft in slew mode so you can actually see what's going on. Still dark. Why is it so dark? Right, we'll make it bright again. Right, flow isn't 2024 at all. No, not yet. It's only on 2020. It's only on 2020. Right, so what are we looking at here? Well, 175 FPS, by the way. Like, that's just what is going on in the world. What we're going to have a look at here. Let me see now. This is that one and this is that one. We're going to go in and explore this aircraft, right? Because it is a Captain Sim aircraft. However, they've already shown us the capabilities when it came to the SPAD, which is a beautiful little airplane. This is the Sopwith Camel. The Camel, 1917, a mainstay of what was used back in the early, you know, these were like, you're going into that to go flying? Are you mad? And that's what they did, right? That's what they did. So if we turn it around this way, into the sun, because it's the rotary engine, right? The update through DLSS back to 2.4. Yes. Oh, good man. I need to do that. Yeah, I need to do that visualize. Yeah, good call. So this, yeah, this update will throw your DLSS back to the old way, right? But this engine is quite different. The Gnome engine, it's not a radial, it's a rotary. And what we mean by a rotary is the entire thing turns. It's nuts, right? And we can see there's some nice features here. There's beautiful details, like look at the tires, look at the wheels, right? Great textures here. And like it is a very simplistic airplane. We also have some, I think they look like Vickers machine. They are Vickers machine guns, right? We have some Vickers machine guns, and just look how small and cramped it is in there. That's mad, isn't it? Tiny little airplane. But loads of lovely details, I think. I think it looks stunning. Modelling work here, it's gorgeous, man. It's just a beautiful airplane. There's one of these at Duxford. Like, when you think about it, this was the absolute bleeding edge of technology. Like, isn't that mad? See this little prop here? That's your airspeed gadget, right? That gives you your airspeed readings, which I thought was friggin' nuts altogether, right? We'll jump into the cockpit now and I'll show you what it's all about as well, right? But if, you know, we'll go over here. Where's my page? We'll go to a Sopwith Camel, right? And it's cheap and cheerful, this airplane. The only thing is, though, it's not great inside 2024. I wouldn't recommend it. But anyway, the Sopwith Camel, a British First World War single-seat biplane fighter aircraft introduced on the Western Front in 1917. It was developed by Sopwith Aviation Company, a successor of the Sopwith Pup. It became the best-known fighter aircraft of the Great War. There was almost 5,500 variants of this not variants, but there was almost 5,500 aircraft built. 5,490. First flew in 1916. It was introduced into the main line in 1917, and it retired in January 1920. It didn't last long. When it became clear Sopwith Pup was not a match to the newer German fighters such as the Albatros D3, the Camel was developed to replace it, as well as the new Port 17. That had been purchased in the French as an interim measure. It was recognised that the new fighter needed to be faster and have heavier armament. The Sopwith F1 was headed by Sopwith's chief designer, Herbert Smith. Right? Unlike the Pup and the triplane, the Camel was considered to be difficult to fly. It was light and sensitive controls. The type owed both to the extreme manoeuvrability and also its difficult handling to the close placement of the engine, pilot, guns and fuel tanks, some 90% of the aircraft's weight. Within the front 7 feet, the aircraft and strong gyroscopic effect on rotating mass of the cylinders common to rotary engines. Jesus. The Camel gained an unfortunate reputation with pilots, with inexperienced ones crashing on takeoff, or if there were full fuel load, pushed the aircraft's centre of gravity beyond the rearmost safe limit. And in level flight, the Camel was markedly tail heavy. Unlike the triplane, the Camel lacked a variable incident tailplane, so the pilot had to apply constant forward pressure on the control stick to maintain a level attitude at low altitude. No trims on this, lads. No trims. A two-seat trainer then was later developed. Operational history on the Western Front. The Royal Navy Air Station No. 4 Squadron stationed near Dunkirk was the first squadron to operate this type. The first combat flight and reportedly its first victory claim were both made on the 4th of July 1917. It also did home defence, and it even did nighttime flying. Nighttime flying. Where is this now? Ground attack role. The Camel became obsolete as a day fighter as its climb rate, level speed and performance at altitudes over 12,000 feet were outclassed by the latest German fighters, such as the Fokker D7. However, it remained viable as a ground attack and infantry support aircraft, and instead was increasingly used in that capacity. It could carry one 25-pound bomb. Jesus. Post-war service in the aftermath, the Camel saw further combat action. Multiple British squadrons were deployed into Russia as part of the Allied intervention into the Russian Civil War. Between the Camel and the SE-5, which were the two main types, deployed to the Caspian Sea area to bomb Bolshevik bases and to provide aerial support for the Royal Navy. Operated in Australia, Belgium, Canada, Estonia, France, Greece, Latvia, the Netherlands, Poland, the Russian Empire, Soviet Union, and of course the United Kingdom, with the Americans, United States, also operating a number of these aircraft. Absolutely friggin' nuts. Power plant was a Clerget 9B 9-cylinder air-cooled rotary piston engine which generated 130 horsepower. It had a maximum speed of 98 knots, stall speed of 42 knots. It had a range of 300 miles or 260 nautical miles. And get this, a service ceiling of 19,000 feet. What? Like, absolutely friggin' nuts. Nuts, lads. Like, who's in charge? Right? Absolutely nuts. But anyway, let us have a look. So, the exterior looks very pretty. The interior looks very pretty, right? Turn off the filter so you can see it. Beautiful wooden designs. I mean, this is the most basic of stuff. Basic of stuff, right? So we have our mags. Loads of clicky sounds and all that, right? What else do we have? We don't have much. We have our throttle. Look at the cables move, look. Look at the throttle body there. Like, I mean, it's quite staggering. There's no prop. There is mixture. Right? Fuel shut off, I think. Look at the wood. If we move the rudder pedals, it's literally a lump of wood with a couple of cables. Then we look at our flight controls. See all the cables moving, right? Like this thing, in terms of how do we start it, in terms of taxiing, no, not very friendly.
Oh, Jesus.
Machine guns don't do that, unfortunately. That'd be the triggers. That's like a bip button. I need to learn more on what a bip button is, but effectively it interrupts the engine. It like conks it out. It drops your RPM. So the only way to actually start this aircraft is Control E. There's no button up here that you can click to spin the prop. It's Control E and that'll start it up. The compass works, which is nice. Also, as I say about taxiing, there's no brakes on this machine. You can't stop the gadget from moving. So when you land, kill the engine. These would have been pushed, hand pushed into position. The wheels, like, they move forwards and that's it. Nothing else. Do you know what I mean? Which is quite nuts, right? Quite nuts. So I wonder now, can we show this starting? And just, I want to show you that rotary engine, right? Because it's absolutely mad, isn't it? So let's have a look here now. Let's see, will this work, right? So we'll do a Control E and see what happens. It's a rotary engine, look. Ah, lads, isn't that deadly, isn't it? The animation of it is spot on. Let's try it again, right? Like, how basic do you get? And there's some nice visual effects there as well, if we have a look. Like, it sounds class, isn't it? So as I said, lacking any sort of, you know, taxi capabilities, right? Let's add in some power. And let's see what happens. Easy now. Whoopsie daisy. Airspeed indicator, miles an hour. We're doing what, 60? It can move, right? Does it sound like your Skoda? Isn't it mad, lads? Isn't it absolutely mad? And let me tell you, in VR, it's very, very nice. Such a such a historic airplane. Like, I think chase plane can't even, like, move that slow. Oh, look at that. It's a real Biggles airplane, isn't it? And the sounds of it are friggin' nuts. Tell you how, we're off now to do the thing.
Jesus.
So yeah, this is your airspeed indicator. This little prop over here. Isn't that cool looking? That's what's giving you your airspeed read. Right? So we'll climb up here a little bit. 60 miles an hour. Hughes is busy looking at the fields, wondering how he's going to till them. Yeah. Right, throw the nose down. Isn't it class, isn't it? Easy now, don't crash, Murph. She's on the way. Only takes about 6 minutes to do a fly pass. Brilliant. Oh yeah, Daka is right, man. Isn't it gorgeous, isn't it? Right, so we landed this airfield. And how we stop this is anyone's guess, right? Jesus. Oof. There's no brakes. Isn't it very free? It's just, I think it's gorgeous, man. We turned off the engine. We started up here again. Up you devil you. Tally-ho! Isn't it mad? Yeah, it's Flight Sim 2020. And it's like, look at the state of it. Imagine a squadron of them, right? Like, what a machine, right? What a machine. Right? Hang on now. I was on the fence about the plane, but for the price it might be worth getting it. It's a beautiful plane. Yeah, this works.
Jesus.
Isn't it mad? Isn't it mad, right? Right? Just like a different world, lads. You know what I mean? But it's such a great experience. Like, when would you ever get the chance to be able to fly in such a beautiful looking Sopwith Camel? If that was your thing, right? It's not going to be for everyone. It's low, it's slow. But in terms of just experiencing this, and as I said, like in VR, it's a beautiful experience. And the sounds are quite good. You know what I mean? Lots of fun. And for like, what, a tenner? It's about a tenner. I think it's very good. I gotta commend Captain Sim here because, like, it is a very historic airplane. Would you believe there's one still flying? You know what I mean? How do you see where you're going with the camera views? Defiant Prawn, I bluff it. It's all bluffing. Oh, the 2020 trees, the simulated horror. Oh, Jesus, don't crash. Easy. Don't hit the trees, Murph. That's pretty cool looking, isn't it? Don't crash. Brilliant, isn't it? I've flown in a Tiger Moth at Duxford. Yeah, man, the Tiger Moths were awesome. But like, these predated them something fierce, and I love the engine. I mean, look, she's a rotary engine, lads. The whole thing is spinning like an absolute mad lad, look. Isn't it mad? Absolutely mad. Right, we can pretty much land this anywhere. Oh, there's the airport there, look. Right, easy now. Take it in for a landing. It's now made by Mazda. Easy. I mean, you can really throw them around there. You know what I mean? Easy, easy. Like, some aircraft, they're just better suited to 2020 right now. I would love to see this come to 24 natively. It works okay, but it bounces on the ground in 2024. Oh, you divil you. It's just not a great experience in flights in 2024. Once you get it airborne, it's fine, but on the ground, it ain't great. Get out of the grass, Murph. It isn't great in 2024, but on 2020, I think you're gonna have a lot of fun with this. You know, they've done a great job. It looks, sounds, and flies really well, I think. You know what I mean? Quite a few replicas flying. The original one still flying is in New Zealand. Wow, that's mad. It's pretty cool, isn't it? What do you think, lads? Do we like? If you're on the fence, you know, should you be picking up a Captain Sim World War I aircraft? I think they've nailed this one again. They did the same with the Spad. That was a beautiful airplane. And this one here, it's the Camel. You know, the tail skid, isn't that a braking system? Not really. There is a bit of drag when you're on the ground. You'll stop relatively soon, but forget about doing, like, you know, exit the runway. It's a Sopwith Camel, the F1. And fix for the bounce in 24. Ah, Nick, okay, so there's a fix for the bounce in 24. Well then, if there's a fix that you can download, brilliant. You can fly it in both 2020 and 24. It looks better, I think, in 2020. You know, it's whatever about the colours or something. It's just, she's better looking in it, you know? It's very pretty though. And I love the animation of that radial engine. That's just class, look. That's gorgeous. You know? It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. You know what I mean? So that's why most airfields were grass by the time brakes weren't really great. They weren't great, and they weren't even a thing. 100% Jay Winokur. I would say anyone interested in trying or flying, you know, the old vintage airplanes, this will definitely put a smile on your face. And for like, it's a tenner. You know what I mean? It's very, very nice. So yeah, I think they've done a great job here. So the other things, as I said, with flights in 2020, they fixed the issue where you exit the sim. Remember, the sim wouldn't properly shut down. They fixed that as well. For looking at old aircraft. Oh, nice. What's that? Old Rhinebeck. Nice one, Scott. But yeah, as I say, it's some aircraft just tend to work a little bit better in Flight Sim 2020. When you've developers saying, you know, it should work okay in 2024, it's not a 2024 aircraft. And that's anywhere from how it looks, how it flies, how it sounds in particular, you know. But yeah, I think with some of these aircraft, especially from the Captain Sim aircraft, they're really, really good, you know. So you get 4 liveries. The Captain Sim, why some people want to do that, I don't know. Again, if we want to go back to the Sikorsky in 24 or in 2020, right? Again, you get a better idea of all the different liveries. There's a barrel load of liveries for this aircraft. A barrel load of them, right? And I think, for me, I think the S-76 right now, it behaves a little bit better inside of 2020. That's just, you know, what I think. I think it's more behaved in Flight Sim 2020 right now. But it works just fine in 24. You know, I mean, if we were to do, that was Duxford. If you go back to Duxford and you'll see this chopper in 2020, you'll probably have a different opinion of it. You know what I mean? But it's I still think if you have the capability of running 2 sims, I highly recommend it. Because it, like, at the end of the day, flight sims, you want to have the experience, or the you want to have like the session that you want, and it depends on the sim. The sims have different strengths now. You know what I mean? For me, 2020 has always been very, very strong for me when it came to the airliner stuff. And of course, there's things working here in Flight Sim.
Runway awareness, okay.
And there's things working in 2020. I think that are just, they're handling like, it's just way better than what we have in 24. For some of the aircraft, the likes of Flow, the likes of Chase Plane, and even how things are kind of rendered and all that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's all part of a mod. So like, here's the S-76 inside of 2020, and I gotta say, it's phenomenal, man. It's phenomenal. Really, really pretty, and the details are fantastic. You know, and even everything just looks a little bit different, doesn't it? It just looks a little bit different. So again, I mean, if we wanted to start putting power into this aircraft, battery, starter, leave those alone. Strobe lights, anti-collision lights, emergency lights, arm, logo light, stick it on up here. Then we'll move these guys fully forward, and we'll move these guys into their start position, and start, and the sounds are equally as good in 2020, you know.
Jesus.
Doesn't it sound amazing? This thing just sounds the boss altogether. Sounds amazing, this chopper. Like, it's just class, isn't it? It's deadly, man. The sounds are amazing. It's so good, man.
Caution, taxiway. Caution, taxiway.
You're all right, Vanilla. It's grand. Mind the tree. Mind the tree, and he immediately flies towards the tree. Hang on now. How do we get out of this mess? Let's see. There we go. Sail it across. You can do it, Merv. Go on, you. Oh, Jesus. Go on, you. Oh, Jesus. Go on, you devil. Easy now. More still. We'll do it, we'll do it. Yeah, that's all Parallel 42 stuff with their SimFX. It's cool though, isn't it? It's a bit of fun, isn't it? A bit of fun. Right, anyway, lads, that's going to do us for tonight. I want to thank you all so very much indeed for tuning in. That was this week's Flight Sim News. We checked out quite a bit tonight. We had, of course, the S-76 in 24 and 2020. The Sopwith Camel. We checked out the AcuSim update for the Aerostar. And, yeah, hopefully you found this informative. Yes, yes. And I need to figure out what happened to the cat. But she's alive anyway, that's the main thing. But I've no stream tomorrow. Unfortunately, we're missing out on our VATSIM. So best of luck to our VATSIM pilots tomorrow night, flying down to Atlanta. I hope you guys have an awesome session on VATSIM. We're back to you on Friday night. We have a group flight. And Shackleton legend. Yes, we're heading somewhere absolutely mad this coming Friday night for a group flight. So thank you all so very much indeed for tuning in. All the support as ever. The amount of subs tonight was nuts. All the likes we got on YouTube as well, lads. Thank you very, very much indeed. It's incredible support as always. Really, really do appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and catch us on Friday at 1900 Zulu time. Until then, we won't rest until we find out what's wrong with Merv's cat. Yeah, I need to, right? Let's go get a bite to eat. What are you serving on the menu, Merv? Cat? Huh? Why is there whiskers in me soup? Right, lads, thank you very much indeed. We'll see you on Friday. Till then, you take care. Don't panic! Just hope for the best, Murphy. Oh, Jesus! Don't end in all fear and terrible. Yep. Oh.
Thinking. Up.
Shh. Dublin. Pascal, she, he, art, he, is Pascal, she, he's still doing the news. Oh, there's Gibbo, look! He almost turned it over. Gibbo, you nearly rolled it.
Yeah, baby.
Did you just say that? He nearly rolled the trailer coming in. Hilarious. Yeah, we can hear you.
You need a hand.
Do I need a hand?
It's heavy, yeah?
Jesus, Murph!